Anyways, a balaclava. So they're basically the slit around their eyes is all that's visible. So their face are otherwise covered. Anyway, so all of you are kind of at arrow point, being harassed by these elves here. We'll start with Arteme there. But this woman, she's clearly an elven woman, anyways, has you at arrow point, and she was already asking you who you are, why you're here, etc. But she says, "This vulpine form is not known to me. You're a shifter, are you not?"
Wait, what?
Can she talk in animal form?
She cannot.
But I was talking to her last time.
She was trying to understand you as best as she could, but you're not able to actually speak. She's just kind of reading your body language and so on. Meaning you can nod, you can gesture, you just can't say words.
Okay, so I'll nod.
Just shrug.
Fox shrug. She says, "Then we'll see that you're remembered. Revert your form so that you may reveal your name before we end your life."
I would just shake my head.
Not in my beautiful face.
She kind of leans forward and pulls her bowstring back further, like she's about to shoot you.
I'm just gonna slowly twitch my ear.
You see her kind of squint a little bit. Yeah, she kind of squints a little bit, but she looks like she's about to release the arrow. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. Which your mental stats are still yours, so you don't need to use your fox form for those. Background sounds are okay? You're not too loud, too quiet?
No, they're perfect.
All right.
You said persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion.
I'm horrible.
That was weird. It was a little bit... The dice roll was a little bit laggy on my side. That's strange. You know what? I didn't restart the machine. I should have done that first. Shouldn't be anyways, but
I've got a little bit of a cold, guys, so I apologize for all the coughing in advance.
the coughing in Bach sounds.
Yeah. Damn it.
She says this is your last chance. And she's kind of pulled it back an extra half-inch, the bowstring. It's like a foot and a half from your face. Like, it is going to instantly kill you. Well, at least out of fox form, if you don't comply.
Yeah, but I don't want to go out of fox form around elves while I'm not an elf. Come on.
I mean, none of us are elves and haven't murdered us yet.
I'm just going to gently take a step back and, like, put my ears down.
Just fucking run for it.
Yeah. He's going to release the arrow. It's going to be, like, at point-blank range, I'm going to say that there's really, especially in fox form, she's not going to miss, and I mean, if you're not trying to run, as you've said, so she's not going to miss, and that means that it'll outdo the... how many hit points does your fox form have? It's probably like 4 or 5 or something.
Not many, but I would try and dodge the arrow at the very least.
I'll give you... You know what, I'll just make an attack roll, actually, just to... what is your AC in your fox form?
Let me find my fox form.
Should be on your wild shape sheet.
Yeah, I don't really know how to use the wild shape sheet at the moment.
Yeah, since you're land druid, you don't really use your forms for fighting all that much. It is... Armor class is 12. Yeah, she definitely hits.
12.
So arrow, you see it just with the briefest of moments as it splits between the ear and the eye on the right side of your head, sinks in through and instantly.
Can we see this? Or are we just like looking at the arrows?
You guys are 15-minute back. Like you guys aren't.
We're way back.
Yeah, you guys stayed back so that Arteme and Sai could sneak ahead. But you are surrounded by a half circle of I think it's 7 of them around you guys. So you can't see or hear any of this. You're too far away. But the arrow sinks in through the head of the fox. I mean the damage on it. Check the HPs under fox form. See if it's possible for her to roll less than your minimum. The hit points are 1d6, no, so it's not possible. So there's no way that she could roll less than the minimum for the fox form. So the arrow sinks through. There is an instant just blitz of pain, and you immediately revert back to your currently pogo form, and with still in fact, actually, hang on, I do have to roll the damage.
That's a good looking man down there.
All right, so it's only 3 damage that she did on top of it that goes to Artemis form. So 3 wounds for you there. But you revert back in Pogo form, and she immediately kind of eyes go wide slightly, and she steps back again. All you can see for her facial feature are her eyes, but she's clearly confused. She says, "This is your true form. You smell like one of us, but you appear like a dirty Parian boy."
I just kind of glare at her and I say I had to run with a damn pixie, which is why I want to stay in my animal.
Okay, give me a persuasion check, this time with advantage. Of course, you dropped a 1 too, so you didn't roll very well. She squints a little bit. She says, "A pixie. This sounds like deception. Why are you here? Who are you?"
I would just kind of shrug at her and say, "What? People can't come home after being away?"
You don't look like this is your home.
Well, I would if I actually had my normal form. I shrug.
She looks very confused. She points at Sai. She says, "What is this space spirit? Does it not speak? Can it vouch for you?"
She can't speak. She's a spirit. All she has is her animal form.
She kind of stands up. She's pulled in. She'd already pulled another arrow, by the way, and has already re-knocked it. But she kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like relaxes the string so that the string is back to normal, still knocked, but not drawn and pointed at you. She kind of stands up a little bit. She says, "I'm not."
She says what?
She says, "I'm not entirely convinced."
Well, the non-elves I was traveling with are a bit farther back. If we reach the group, the person whose appearance I'm at can confirm that it was a pixie, considering they have my appearance.
She said, "Your friends are already on their way."
I just shrug.
She kind of she looks unsatisfied with your answers so far, but she says, "You do smell like one of us, so I'm going to try to give you the benefit of the doubt, at least as long as we can. We'll see if your friends are able to justify your words. When they arrive, I'm warning you now: do not speak. If they don't back up your story, this will end well and badly for you."
I'll just shrug.
All right, then we will switch over to the rest of the group. Then, with all of them holding arrows on you, what you presume to be the leader of the group. They all appear to be women, but again, with the hoods pulled over their head. But what appears to be the leader of the group says, "Hold your tongue, Tavanas, or I will take it from you. We're marching silently, and if you so much as snap a twig, we'll riddle you with arrows until you breathe your last." And she nods. Anybody doing anything? You're just following orders?
Well, I'm still on the broom, so I guess I'm still floating, right? Like, they're not... Are they making me get off the broom?
There are arrows pointed at you enough that they don't seem to be concerned with it necessarily. They're not making you, but they are, like, you're all, like, at arrow point. So. Okay.
My hands are up. Can I... Wait, am I on? I don't think I'm on the broom. I think I goes off the broom.
Did you? I thought you were still on the broom with Sarah.
Does anyone else remember?
I think you were still on the broom.
Oh, and they just said to stay on the broom?
Well, they didn't specify. They just said don't move and don't snap a twig. They're telling you to be silent, which I'll just tell you that you're both into it a little bit. That you being on the broom is probably helpful to them. Because if you're walking through the brush, you're making noise.
So, can I? This might end badly. If we're not moving on the broom, I'm gonna put one hand up. I'm gonna keep one hand on the broom like I was holding, just like as if I'm like well, I would have done this as soon as there are arrows at us. And can I take the hat off so that my form is revealed?
So that you're appearing as Artemis?
Quickly, yeah, just real quick.
Sure. With the hat up, I'd say that you know, as long as you're moving slow enough, obviously
Yeah,
you're not
just
to.
very slow, and where the hat would be, just pull it off, so I revert back to Artemis' normal form.
Okay. Then you lift the hat off, 6 inches off the top of your head, enough that it breaks the illusion. And the one that's closest to you, the one that had spoken, you see her kind of squint and rear back a little bit, and it's clear that she's smelling, like she's sniffing the air. She gives you a very disbelieving look. She says, "What is this? What is this illusion? I suggest you stop it before my sisters get angry."
And I'm just gonna kind of say, "Quick, see, magic!" Best I can.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be give me a performance with disadvantage, and the DC is gonna be pretty high.
All right.
You're trying to balk your way through explaining this.
Yep. Do disadvantage on performance. Would you like it in the tower?
No, doesn't matter. Good roll though.
Yeah, not bad.
It's not clear whether she understood what you said, but she gives kind of a quick nod of assent, and she says, "Just stay on your conveyance there. Don't step down and don't make any noise." And the two that have arrows pointed at what's that?
And I'm gonna try to be like, oh no, okay, no, that's it. I'd just be standing there.
Not gonna try for more.
Well, no, I think the more I try to say, the worse it's gonna be. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Right. There's two that have arrows pointed straight at Mohawk's chest, and the leader woman, the one with she's got. You can see, by the way, that the hood covers the face, but there's hair coming out from underneath it, and it's black. Oh no, sorry, this one's blonde. Never mind, it's a different woman. Blonde hair coming out from under it, and her eyes are kind of a bluish color. But she appears to be the leader of this group, anyway. He says, "Yog, I know that your kind are not known for their subtlety, but we need to be as quiet as possible. Can you do that?"
Yeah, I can do my best.
Then we move. She said, "It's not far from here, but we need to get around this corner and through the brush until we reach our destination." So I'd say for Pogo and Sarah, you guys don't need to make them because you're on the broom. As long as you're staying on the broom, or if you're doing anything else, certainly let me know. But for Norok, give me a stealth check. And because you're already moving at half speed, it's not disadvantage or anything. You're basically moving slowly through the brush. I thought it was a natural 1, but it was a natural 7, so not good. But moving slowly, it's just barely below the DC. So you're making noise and you're drawing very angry looks, but you're not making that much noise. It doesn't appear to be alerting anybody or whatever they appear to be afraid of. But you do carefully reach where you find this kind of a bluff, like this hill that kind of goes up, and as you're approaching, getting closer and closer, you can hear the sounds coming from the inside of what would be this village that you guys were approaching, which, by the way, it is 10 o'clock at night on Fire's Day, so it's pretty late. But the coming up over the hill, or approaching the edge of this hill, in the midst of some underbrush, you see this kind of glowing or shimmering rather green cloak elf with a bow, arrow knocked, and she's standing in front of a Pogo who is laying on the ground, and Sai next to her, next to Artemis Pogo, of course. But as they approach, actually, all of you would hear this. You hear Ozzy's voice in your ear say, as you guys are approaching Artemis, Ozzy says, "Have not heard from you since teleportation. Confirm you've arrived safely. Status of me."
And we all heard it?
Yeah. You guys are all wearing assuming you're all wearing your stones anyways, your stones of far speech.
Mm-hmm. And we actually have to speak out loud for those to work, correct?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably wearing it.
I'm just gonna
All right.
be thinking he can fucking wait. He's not doing shit.
Yeah, if nobody's replying, that's fine. That message was sent to you, and as then if nobody's replying, you guys doing anything else, or just staying under arrow point and following what you're told to do?
I'm good for right now. They haven't really shown too aggressive of a nature. I mean, they're just out hunting, doing a perimeter. We're in their space.
All right. So
Okay, so far.
as Norok, Sarah, and Norok, Sarah, and Pogo arrive on the broom, Sarah or Pogo in Artemis form. Did you put your hat back on, or did you leave it in Artemis? Did you leave it off?
I would have put it back on, but not cast the other spell, so it would have still
Okay.
been in Artemis form.
Okay.
Yeah. My idea, Pogo's idea, is as soon as there's an option, if they lower this a little bit, I'd like to make a hand sign to write something down, so they can, like, that I can't speak, that I need to write. Like,
Okay.
hopefully they picked up on that from me trying to talk out some words earlier.
Maybe. I mean, would you wait until you wouldn't have done this while you guys are being marched? Then, right? You'd wait until you guys are stopped.
I would wait till they maybe stop and it's calmed down a little bit to see where the situation's going. But that's my next play. So if it gets really bad, I'm gonna be like,
right. Well, as soon as you guys have arrived where Artemis is with Sai, the elven woman that is next to Artemis as Pogo beckons at the leader that is marching Pogo, Sarah, and Norok. She beckons her over, and she steps away. The two of them step away from the group, while the remaining 6 have arrows trained on all of you, with both, like, strings are drawn, like ready to fire at any moment, aimed at all of you. And the two of them kind of move away a little bit. You can see, so there's the two of them, by the way. One has ice blue eyes and blonde hair, and the other one, the one that was with Artemis, has what looks like auburn reddish hair and dark eyes. But the two of them are standing kind of apart from each other and talking back and forth.
Is there anything weird about them that seems off? Like, do I notice that, like, they're not normal elves? Because they don't seem like they're trying to sneak around these direwolves and werewolves, right?
You guys are underneath the hill, not underneath. Like there's a cliffside basically next to you, and you guys are low enough on the hill to not be visible to the other side.
Okay, so we don't. Do I get any kind of idea that they're working? So I guess I get the feeling that they're not working with the wolf village.
Very much so. Yeah, it does seem like they were probably here ahead of time. I would say that you all probably have the impression that they were scouting the werewolves already, and you guys just showed up and got in the way. They do not seem friendly with they do not seem to be in league, let's say, with the werewolves there.
Sure.
By your impression, if that's what you were asking.
Yes, that's what I want to know.
Okay. So the two of them step aside, though, and they're talking to each other, but they're whispering. You can see them, but they're whispering, so you can't necessarily hear them.
Can I read their lips at all?
You can try. Anybody that's going to try to read lips, give me. There's not really a skill. I would say because rogues actually get a specific skill that does that, but let's call it. Unless you guys can make a decent argument for what skill it might be, without any actual proficiency towards anything. Let's call it perception, I guess.
I'd say,
or
investigation.
Yeah, it should be investigation, actually, because you're trying to deduce what it is they're saying, not necessarily.
I would just tune into Sai's hearing to hear it.
You can do that. Your eyes, if you do that, it's visible that your eyes are going to go white. They are staring at you.
Absolute worst person to roll a 20 on that is the guy who can't actually relay any information to anyone else about anything.
Oh, shit, I did not even think about that. Yes, because you're actually going to hear all of this and not be able to...
You're all fucking welcome, I guess.
So Artemis, if you're going to, you can absolutely do that, and she will have, meaning you could roll with advantage because she has keen hearing. So you'll have advantage on the roll for oh shit, never mind, that's sight. I'd still say it's advantage though. That she would be able to pick up potentially and read what their lips are saying. But it'll make your eyes are going to go white, which is how it looks when you're using size senses instead, and that will be visible to the elves in front of you.
Okay.
So as long as you're okay with that, go ahead and roll your investigation with advantage. And if Sarah or Norok are trying to read lips, go ahead as well.
Nope, I'm just watching the elves that are around us.
Okay. Ben?
Yeah, me too.
All right. Then in that case, Pogo, I'm going to give you the entire thing. I'm just going to paste it to you in Discord. Yeah, because I don't want to. They'd be a pain in the ass to do all the individual lines.
Word.
Okay, it's gonna. There's gonna be names in here that you don't know, so you just Justin
I
can know
will
them.
forget them immediately.
That's fine. Just Justin can know them anyways, but Pogo does not know them.
Yeah, both will forget them. I would bet
There
money.
you go. And then for Arteme, you pick up a little bit of it. Let's see. Arteme, you hear. You know what? For it's only going to be a couple of lines here. Arteme. The one that was on you says that. Arteme, the one that was there with you. Then the other responds with this. The one that came with the rest of the group. And then there's some murmuring that you can't understand what she says. And then the one that was with you says this. Oops. There you go. Tell me when you got that, Fox. So you're able to hear those things relatively clearly. Obviously, Pogo, you got every single word of it, but how that works for you is up to you.
Wait, how would you have gotten every single word by reading the lips when I'm hearing?
Huh?
Because I would be hearing it through Sai's ears.
I see what you were trying to do. Okay, I see you were trying to. I thought
If
you were
it
trying
makes
to.
you feel any better, I just read it real quick, and I only picked up I basically sped read it, and I just picked up.
That's
I don't even think I looked at a name.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, I sped read it. I was like, all right, I got the gist. Because
there's
she's right. Like reading lips, I'm not going to try to read in any deep secondary.
That's totally fair. Yeah.
Just
I didn't think about that actually, Fox. I was thinking about you reading lips, not using her hearing. That was my mistake. With that roll, I'd say you still picked up that part, but there was basically that there was one part that was murmuring and you couldn't understand what was said, but you did hear them say the other part.
Gotcha.
That work?
Okay. Yeah.
So you heard the one that was with you. She called the other one that came. She called her Sanway, and you did not hear the one that was with you. You did not hear her name. But anyways, that was their communication. And then the two of them, the one that was with you, Arteme, the one that you don't know the name of, she kind of nods and then turns to come back towards the group of you again. And she says, still quietly but loud enough to address all of you, she says, since the assault of the vast erudition, a withering disease has plagued the Isoquendi, which, Fox, you know that's the elves of the moon to your people. She says, my sisters and I are here to retrieve its cure. You may buy our assistance by acquiring it in our stead. What say you?
she's talking to all of us.
Yeah, she's talking to all of you. She says, you may speak.
I'm gonna make a hand gesture as if like writing, and then point to my throat and put my hand to my throat as if I can't. Kind of a sign for me not being able to speak.
Okay.
And see if it's okay if I write something down.
She looks at the leader of the ones that came with you. I'm just going to give you their names for simplicity's sake. The one that was with Arteme is Therese, and the one that was with the rest of the group was Stanway. And those were the two that were speaking, that were off to the side and speaking. Therese is the red hair with dark eyes. Stanway's blonde with blue eyes.
Tourist and sandwich. Got it.
Yeah, close enough. Tourist and sandwich. But she looks at Sandway, the one that came with the rest of you, and Sandway nods at her, and she kind of looks back and just nods at you.
So I'm going to slowly reach down, pull out my little notebook and a pen, and I'm going to write down, was messed up by pixie magic in the wrong body. She's me, I am her. Before we do this, we would need this reversed, or we'll be very little good to you. Anything you could do to help with that first? Question mark.
That's going to take you. That's going to take you probably 30, 45 seconds or so to write.
Well, while I'm writing that, everyone else can talk.
Yeah, exactly. Are Norok, Sarah, or Arteme saying anything during that time? Actually, Arteme, you were specifically told not to speak. So up to you if you're going.
I'm just gonna show.
Okay.
What is it exactly that we're supposed to be getting?
She kind of looks over at Arteme, the fake Arteme, as Pogo, writing, and then kind of looks up at the ridge that you guys are underneath. She says, "Beyond this ridge, a pack of rabid beasts desecrate our home. In the camp on the far side of the ruins, the alpha beast resides with a black heart beating in its chest. That heart is the final reagent we need for the cure. Bring us that heart, and we'll speak to the Elantari on your behalf." Which you guys, Arteme knows. Elantari Solende is the Queen of Gwyn's there.
Does the heart need to be completely intact? I mean, if we accidentally poke a hole through it.
Shouldn't matter. By this time, Pogo, your sketching has finished. She very carefully, she kind of nods to her sisters, and they all, have bows kind of drawn and ready to go to fire at you specifically. And she leans in carefully. She just leans in carefully and grabs the notepad from you. You let her have it.
Yep.
She reads it, and then she looks back and forth between Arteme and Pogo. And she kind of, there's a dawn of recognition. Again, all you can see is their eyes, really, and some hair underneath the hood. But there's kind of this dawning recognition that goes over them. She hands it back to you. She looks at Arteme. She says, "So it seems you were telling the truth then, sister. You may speak."
I'll just cock my head to the side and say, "Do you know the numbers of the people? We were just trying to get to the city, not necessarily interfere with anything or have an actual run-in with."
The numbers? What numbers?
Of the wolves.
The beasts, there's 2-3 dozen at least, maybe more. If you're going to attempt this, I'll make it clear that you should do your very best to not be seen.
Can I gesture to get my little writing tablet, my little writing notebook back?
Yeah, she kind of steps forward and hands it back to you. She says, "As for this, I'm afraid that's outside of our capability. That's not something we can do for you."
So I'm going to write on the thing. The only way we could help you in such a giant venture would be if you help us set a trap for them. No way that in our present state would we be able to handle any of that situation. Unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be down as a clown in Chinatown. And I just hand it back.
So it takes you a second to write that. Is anybody saying anything else while you're jotting that down?
Do you know exactly where the alpha is?
He's in the camp on the far side of the ruins.
Yep, but where in the camp on the far side of the ruins?
She shrugs.
Great.
And by then, Pogo, you finished your jotting that down. She takes it from you, looks at it, and she kind of just looks back at you. She says, "That's not my problem," and hands it back to you.
Do we know what this alpha looks like? Any distinguishing marks on him so we can identify which one is the alpha?
He is not very large, has silver hair, speaks with a commanding tone, and the others follow his orders. To be clear, we're not really concerned, she kind of gestures to her sisters, we're not really concerned if you survive this. We're going in to get it regardless. You're just buying us some time or maybe a distraction. If you make it out, great, but we're not.
So I'm gonna write down on the thing. Maybe if we just work together, and I'm gonna show it first to Serafina and then to them. like in big bold letters, then we can murder all their fucking faces.
So you jot that down. Is anybody saying anything while you're writing? Okay.
Nope.
Then 10, 15 seconds pass while Pogo's jotting that down. She reaches out and grabs it from you again, reads it, and she chuckles and kind of like looks at her sisters. They all kind of chuckle a little bit. She says, to work with a Tavana? Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, well, I'm going to pull out all the teeth that I pulled from the other one to show them that I'm like, hey, at least I'm doing something.
All right. Make a BC is still going to be pretty high, but
Sure.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. I would even give you advantage normally, but I think that they would automatically be a no. So even letting
Sure.
you make a roll is like already the advantage. That's pretty high.
Just to make him more like, oh, maybe he's not such a bad tiny human. Oh wait. They think I'm a. Man, they're probably also confused.
Yeah, very
I'm
much.
already confused.
The rolls were hilarious with how like this really screwed you guys, because it really the D4s you guys were rolling to decide who things got affected by. That like almost like, there's one way it could have gone more like punishing for you guys.
The good news is,
pretty.
I think I have a spell that I can do.
Oh, that isn't verbal.
Yeah.
So. She was when she was chuckling and then said that, the rest of the group kind of giggled a little bit too. That you had suggested that they work together. But when you pull out the teeth and show them, her eyes kind of go wide a little bit, and she squints again. She says, "You know, it could be in our favor, I suppose. Our end goal is still most important, and despite my disdain for working with your kind, this might work in our benefit. I suppose at the very least we can get you to the edge of the ruins there, and after that it'll be up to you."
Look at fucking non-speaking Pogo building bridges.
You're a oh god damn it,
It's okay, you can say it. The Gandhi of our time. I understand.
No, I'm specifically the when you have a diplomat that goes to a different country.
Fuck, what is that word? There we go. Well,
yeah, ambassador. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for. That is the word I was looking for, was ambassador. So, Pogo is an ambassador for the continent. Anyway, but she says we'll sneak you as far as getting you to the edge of the ruins. After that, it'll be up to you. You'll have to sneak your way through the ruins and into the camp. Just to be clear, though, you will be warned. You're going to be watched throughout. My sisters and I could spear an apple at 300 yards, so we will not risk our people's recovery on the authenticity of strangers.
And I'm gonna write down.
Shoot us for exactly.
She looks at you. She says, "A deception on your part will be met with a swift and painful death. Recover the heart and come back, but if you make any motion to do other than that, it will end badly."
Okay. So we're good, like getting in our bags and stuff. You're not gonna shoot me for reaching in there.
As long as it's within effort to complete your goal, no.
Okay. Well, since I'm assuming Pogo can't cast invisibility, I'm going to give him my only potion of invisibility.
You're going to give it to Pogo?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'll write down. I'll only use it if it's an absolute necessity.
Okay. Oh, I have the ruins aren't quite like this, but there's a big tower at the center. You guys, if you want to, you can use that for the backdrop thing if you just press the arrow on the top right.
Ooh, so pretty.
You don't have to.
Too pixelated.
Oh, yeah, so I usually take I have to, well, I don't have to, but there's, the images, if they're too large, these are old 32-bit applications, so if the image is too large, if the stuff I'm sharing or have shared to you basically gets too big, then we start seeing errors in Fantasy Grounds, which the new version of Fantasy Grounds has been in beta testing for 3 months now. It's supposed to be released at the end of the quarter. So another 5-6 weeks or so, we'll have the new version. And then we don't have those image limitations anymore.
And
So anyway,
I am severely limited on what I can do. Out of curiosity, if I go to cast a spell, am I just going to have to roll to see if it's going to hit, or see if I can use verbal well enough through my
you're
mock
going to roll.
speech?
Yeah, exactly. You're going to roll a performance check, and we'll probably, depending on the level of the spell, I think we'll start level 1 at a 12 DC. 2 will be 14, 3 will be 16, and 4 will be 18.
Got it.
Fair. We'll start it at 10, with going up by 2 each time, with cantrips being a DC of 8. So
cool.
All right.
So I'm assuming if we get into a fight, we can't expect you guys to step in and help in any way.
They all chuckle and just kind of like they're like giggling to themselves, so much so that they're like the bows are tipped slightly, like they're not quite trained on you for just a brief second, and then they return to.
Have we?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Has anyone told them why we're here yet?
No.
Are we keeping that to ourselves?
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Man, I could have been lying about a diplomatic mission and everything. Now I can't do shit.
Out of curiosity, I think that she probably would. She says, before you go, okay, so Arteme will understand this, but especially the Monodoran elves are very, in fact, their entire kind of most popular religion is very much based around memory and remembering somebody that's died, which is specifically why she had offered to let Arteme revert form so that she could be remembered. But that's very important to them. So she said that the leader, Therese, she says, just before you go, so that we can at least have your names recorded. Who are you? Why are you here?
I'd just ask her, would you actually care if you're sending us on a suicide mission just for accidentally crossing?
She says specifically to you, she says, sister, I would expect you to remember better. How long have you been gone?
Quite a while. I left before the Vine Lash.
That was only 10 years ago, and you're 200 and something. Like, I forget, 250 or 150. Like, it was like 150, 160, or 250, 260. So somewhere around there. So that's quite a while, certainly. But, depending on how far before the Vine Lash, you would have probably been in the continent long before that. But anyway, the Vine Lash was only 9 years ago, which is when all this was ruined. But anyways, she says specifically for that reason, so that you may be remembered. Your friends here, less so, but she kind of just shrugs.
Well, I'm Seraphina, and the one behind me that can't talk is Pogo.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you here?
Because we need to speak to whoever is in charge in your capital.
The Elantari doesn't speak to outsiders. Certainly not these barbarous Yogg. And she looks at Norok.
Well, hopefully if we can do this for you, you can at least get us in so we can have a discussion.
She kind of...
all we want to do is have a discussion.
By her eyes, you read that she's probably smirking a little bit. She says, I guess I did make that promise. What is it that you wish to speak with her about? What's that?
I was just going to say, when she said that, I was going to say, I'm the barbarian, but you're the ones that are trying to force us to do your job for you, instead of just asking. You could have just talked to us, but,
I'm just going to kind of glare at Norok for that one, because I did warn them not to be stupid.
She shrugs while you're glaring at him, and she says, we are efficient in our goal, and our goal is to retrieve that heart. If we can use your blood to save our own, why wouldn't we do that? Your people would do the same, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I guess I can't really fault you there. My name's Norok, by the way. We'll find your heart for you.
She nods. She says, I'm Therese. Sanway is over here. And she gestures at her. And then she kind of points to her sister. She reads off their name. So this sounds like an odd mission to come all the way here just to speak with the Elantari, especially knowing that she doesn't speak to outsiders. She squints at Arteme in Pogo form, assuming that she told you as much. We're not a very hospitable people.
I simply shrug and said I would have rather not have brought them on the mission, but we had something else to do.
You cut out at the end there, Fox. We
Oh,
have something to do what?
after, and then just shrug.
She nods. She says, "Well, if you are being truthful, you know what?" She stops. She says, "You know what? I think I want to check the veracity of your communications here." And she beckons Sandway over, who had been standing off, off to the side. And as she approaches, she reaches into a pouch at her waist and she pulls out this small, kind of an alabaster figurine, maybe like 6 inches or so tall. And it's carved in the shape of a robed human woman. It's not elven, but a robed human woman that is holding a hand up, like facing outward, the way that you might see like certain iconography of like Catholic saints, for example. How sometimes they'll have a hand up like that. And she's holding this little figurine like that. And then this blonde-haired elf, she stops about probably 8 feet or so away from you guys. She clasps the figurine in both of her hands and then lowers her head. And she closes her eyes as if she's concentrating. Arteme, give me a memory check with advantage. Oh, natural 20. Shit. You recognize it. It's something that is not unknown. It's an important relic to your people, and it's odd for it to not be safe. Like, it's weird for it to be out in the wilderness like this. It's called the Certainty of Namo, and it's not for forcing, rather. It's for checking whether somebody's telling you the truth. And it works basically for anything close to her, and whoever's using it, who's communicating with it, which is Sonway here, will know if you're telling the truth or not. So she says that then Therese, like, Sonway's still just holding it and kind of looking down at it. Looks like she's concentrating, and then Therese looks back at you. She says, I'm going to need the rest of the details before I can send you in there. I'm afraid I can't risk you just going in and then destroying the heart. So why are you here?
Is she looking at me or is she looking at Arteme?
All of you. Arteme, you recognize this, so you know what it is. The rest of the party doesn't, because you haven't been able to tell them. But you do know that it's essentially a comb coming out from the bearer, in this case Sunway, and it's covering all of you. It's a comb. You're all within the range of it, and she will know. Arteme knows this, that if any of you
if I start riding, can I start riding on the thing, or is it not going to work on the riding?
You don't know.
Right.
You don't know what it is. So.
I'm going to write down on the piece of paper. Okay. Simply put, where we're from is under great threat, and we are worried that this threat could continue to grow, causing global escalation. And we are here under orders to speak to your leader about a possible resolution or help in this matter. And that is pretty much it. And then I'm going to hand them the thing.
Okay. While you're writing that, anybody saying anything?
Your people have something that we would like to borrow and then bring back immediately.
That's some rough.
Give me a persuasion check. She looks at, after you finish saying that. What's that?
I would say, and
you got to be vague in politics, guys. You got to be vague in politics.
And if you don't trust us not to bring it back, you are more than welcome to send any of your people with us to make sure you get it back.
She had squinted when you finished the first part of that statement and looks at Sonway, and Sonway just nods. And then she looks back at you while you're finishing the rest. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Ow, Rufus, don't kick me.
And by that time, Pogo would have finished as well.
Why did I have... Oh, fuck it.
You're still... but that would be... Oh, that's just the D4. That's not disadvantage, because it's disadvantage because I already said disadvantage, not because of the...
it's because her body is shaking.
Well, yeah. That part would be specifically for a dex save, but this was disadvantage because she was just unlikely to believe her already. So she squints at you, though. She says, "So you've come to steal our relic?"
I didn't say steal. I said to discuss borrowing it with your permission. I said you could send people with us.
since when do your people come under anything but false pretenses? And she kind of reaches out and
Since
grabs
now.
she reaches out and grabs the paper from Pogo. She reads over it, and then when she gets to the end, she looks up at you. She says, "I assume this assistance that you speak of that you're seeking is these same relics."
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna write on another piece of paper. But we were willing to trade or come to an agreement with your leaders. We've been given some limited authority, and we'd at least like to have the discussion.
She kind of looking back at all of you, like addressing the whole group. She looks at first at Sandway. Sandway nods again, looks back at all of you. You get the impression that means that she doesn't believe that you're lying. So she kind of reads the paper back from Pogo, hands it back to you. So it looks like you've at least passed the truth detection, as far as you can tell. But she
and
says,
almost did it without revealing too much. I'm going to glance back at Seraphine and be like, oh.
She says, to be completely honest, I doubt the Elantari will even see you, let alone agree to borrowing. And she kind of chuckles at that. Items important to our people, since we'd likely never see them again. But that aside, it does appear that you've at least been honest with your portrayals of your purpose here. So I suppose we'll at least allow you to proceed as far as, maybe getting torn apart by the beasts inside the town here.
And Pogo's going to kind of get excited until the very last part of that sentence. And like, fuck.
She says, "All right, are we ready to proceed?"
And I'm just going to say, last thing. Are
Writing
we
it down?
sure? Yeah, I'm writing it down. Are we sure there's not an item or a spell you guys can bring my voice back with? It would be super neato. Pretty please. And then I'm going to draw a happy face at the end of that note. Give it back to them.
She looks at you and says, your voice? I just assumed that this all," and she kind of taking her finger, she points between Artemis and you. She said, "I assume this was all part of the same thing. Your voice is also why you sound so strange while you're writing."
And then I'm just going to, if it's still on the thing, I'm just going to go back to fairy magic and underline it, and be like,
It was
pixie magic. I'm going to underline where it said pixie
Magic
magic.
She looks at one of the other women that are with her, not either of the, not Teresa, not Sanway. Looks at one of the others, and she kind of shrugs and then nods a little bit. She looks back at you. She says, "I don't see how your voice is going to be helpful for this mission here, but if you do make it out with that heart, my sister here will revert it for you so that you can speak normally."
I'm gonna interject there and say he can't actually cast any spells without his voice.
She kind of you're trying to read all this just from the eyes, so you can't see her like kind of mouth open like in recognition or anything. But based on just the kind of facial gesture that you can see amongst the eyes, she does kind of give that. You kind of gather that she probably said like it was a dawning moment for her. She kind of has that look of understanding recognition. She kind of tilts her head a little bit. Give me persuasion check with advantage on Pogo. Artemis is helping. That's why you have advantage.
Yay! Thank you, Artemis.
I'm also gonna point out that if he could use his spells, he could use invisibility. I could use pass without trace, and sneaking in wouldn't be as much of a.
She kind of nods a little bit. Says, "All right, it's at least worth an effort. I don't know that I'll be able to revert it, but."
Meanwhile, there's still fucking snails and shit crawling. Oh wait, no, I'm on the broom. Oh, there's just a mound of snails that is gathered underneath me.
There's at least half a dozen that are underneath the broom right now, like reaching, trying their best.
I also lead a very slow snail army. Is that helpful to anybody?
She nods. She says, "Tari, do your best." And the elf woman that she was gesturing to kind of nods and steps forward. She, I'm going to look at what spell is. I didn't have it handy. I wasn't expecting you guys to convince somebody to help you. Oh shit, that's expensive too. All right, so she steps towards you, Pogo, and she's holding it. She pulls out a small pouch off of her belt, and sticks her hand in. When it comes out, she's holding a dust that is very sparkly, like a very translucent dust. She kind of whispers this still, but she says, "Tilt your head back and stick your tongue out."
Aww.
And she sprinkles just a small amount of this dust on your tongue, which is it's like sand. It's like very sharp sand, like coarse sand. That she sprinkles on your tongue. She says, "Now swallow it." So you do so. Roll a flat d20 for me.
Oh no, I gotta roll to see if I'm gonna be able to talk again. Son of a bitch!
It scrapes the shit out of your esophagus on the way down. You take 3 total damage from it. Of it just like tearing your esophagus apart. In fact, like you immediately, as soon as you go to speak, you try to say something, and it's like there's like thin blood filling up your stomach, not filling, but you know it's tore up your esophagus enough.
I can taste it.
Yeah, like when you first go to speak, it's like troubled because of that, and at first you feel like it hasn't worked. But you then realize that you are able to speak. You have your voice back. You sound very effeminate and kind of lilting because you're still in Artemis shape.
You know, if you had just said you could do this, I would have gone and killed that fucking werewolf. Wouldn't have been a problem. Totally worth it. Oh.
And she kind of just nods and steps back to the group and unslings her ball.
Would I recognize what kind of dust she put in my mouth?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check, just a flat intelligence check.
Okay.
Are you? You know what? You can use Arcana just because. Let's see. You get half proficiency on Arcana, so no, you're proficient in Arcana. That's a +4. Well, we'll use your first roll.
Let's do 10 plus 4.
Yeah, so 10 plus 4 total. It was ground up diamond dust.
Ooh.
And it looks like it was a good amount. Like you just swallowed probably 100 gold worth of diamond dust.
I don't have 100 gold. Do we have anything that would be equivalent? You know what? I'll worry about that later.
Yeah, she didn't seem like she was asking for any kind of compensation.
All right, let's see if I can. So, hold on. I gotta try to do. I gotta try to do the voice here. I gotta try to do the art of my voice, but with my accent. So, all right. So, I'm gonna try to pay you back. I'll try to pay you back when I can. All right. I really appreciate that.
Fox, is this offensive at all?
Hey, he's trying.
Thanks for not messing up my face down there. Really appreciate it. Took me a while to grow it.
She just nods then, as she's already returned, and Therese says, "Then if we're ready to go, the night will only last so long, so it's better to do this under cover of night, and then as before dawn as possible."
All right. Feel a little bit better there.
All right. Then, if you guys are going along with them, they take you. The group of them kind of lead you up over the edge, and there are 2 different groups of at least like one group you see 2, and there's probably more in the bushes, and then another group off to the side you see 2 more like bipedal werewolves with a direwolf nearby, and they look like they're probably scouts, but they're out amongst the bushes in front of this ridge. That you may not have even otherwise noticed, but the elves like immediately picked them out and kind of pointed to them so that you can skirt your way around them and make your way down towards the edge of the ruins here. And they leave you underneath some trees with some heavy brush beneath it, out on the outskirts of the edges of this ruined village. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on a map here. And you, Artemis had already seen this, but for Norok, Pogo, and Sarah, you guys are seeing the kind of red coral is here in the middle of this ruined town, all over the place, kind of snaking through the area. And
can I whisper? And ask one of the elves next to me what's with the red coral?
Therese kind of responds. She says, "Stay clear of it as you can. You may need to get close, but just don't listen to it, and keep moving, and don't stay close to it at all."
All right, so don't eat it. Got it?
She kind of just nods. She doesn't. It doesn't seem like she understood the humor, and she just kind of nods.
Tough jungle. Alright.
It's a tough crowd, but it's a tough jungle. Okay.
Tough jungle around here, yeah.
Alright.
Quick question. For the stones of far speech, do we have to like touch them at all to use them?
Yeah, I would say that because there's a command word, so you technically could use the command word and then speak afterwards, and it would be audible. So you could do that. You guys never decided what a command word was, and I hadn't told you about it, so that's not your fault. It'll need to be the same for all of you, but because you guys are all attuned to the same stones, or to one kind of shell group of them. But you can have a command word that if you speak, then everything thereafter for whatever the limit is, in this case 25 words for the distance, would be audible. So it's either that, which you guys could have, or you would have decided on the command word for leaving Dunskathak anyway. So if you have that, go ahead. Otherwise, it'll mean touching it with your hand.
So I'm sorry, if we use the command word, it's audible only to us and Ozzy, right?
Well, whoever's on the other end, which is both Ozzy and Dunskathak.
I just wanted to make sure when you said audible, you didn't mean like we just
and
start
amongst the group of you guys. Yeah, it doesn't broadcast it out like. Think of it like,
how's it going, everybody? Just my neck's talking back to us. Don't worry about it.
Think of it like saying Alexa, right? And then it picks from then on. It picks up what you're saying until the 25 words have reached their end, which would be the duration of how many it can send out to a distance, meaning Pepperjack and Ozzy at this point. But you guys can go for longer for yourselves.
Should the word be pinochle or pineapple? I like both. They sound good off the tongue, and I feel like those words aren't going to come up a lot in conversation. Safety word is pineapple. Is that what we're doing?
That's kind of what I thought of when you said that was the safety word.
Safety word is pineapple. We all good?
Pineapple's great.
All right.
Then,
so as we're slowly walking through, I'm gonna turn around and quietly whisper, "Have you ever had a pineapple?" to one of the elves.
Okay. She kind of squints at you and just shakes her head and keeps walking.
When we first arrived, we killed like 4 werewolves. And now being here with you elves, killing more, it's starting to be a habit. I mean, minus the arrows at our heads, not too bad. Is that under 25?
I think it was probably about there.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. You don't hear a response for a bit. And then as you guys, just like pretty much as you guys are arriving at the outskirts of the ruined village here, you hear, it sounds like a very confused Ozzy say, werewolves? Question, like clearly there's a question mark. Report back when you're safe.
Perfect.
We're actually never safe.
Yeah. It happens like once a week.
You guys
last time we were safe, I got laid in this game, so I'm like 1 for 1 on safety lays. It's pretty good.
You guys did have 2 whole sessions of like relaxing in the keep.
Yeah, solid day and a half.
Hours. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and share you guys a map. Then when you have it,
still with the elves, or are they just kind of pointed us to where to go?
Therese has thrown her bow over her shoulder and steps away. And they kind of almost silently make their way back up the ridge that you guys came down from. They basically snuck you past because you guys had convinced them to do that. I hadn't really planned for that, but there was an encounter before that you guys have bypassed essentially. So you've gotten through the patrols and are now on the outskirts of this ruined village. You can see it's I've masked most of what you guys can't see away, but there are ruined walls and everything, and then this red kind of coral crystally kind of stuff that goes throughout it. As well as that stuff isn't super tall, and you see werewolves and dire wolves inside of the keep in various places.
Is it dark or is it lighted?
No, so there are areas that are lit with torches and so on. As far as what you can see here, let me put a circle. There is a torch lamp right there.
Dogs and stuff have night vision or dark vision, so I see them black and white at night. Pretty sure. I think mine does. Are we currently in thick cover? Like, are we fairly safe?
Yeah, you guys are in. There are heavy bushes in front of you, and you're underneath a big tree. but you do see that there's a wolf and a werewolf across from. Oh, I didn't reveal them. Sorry. Oops. Which one is that?
So-
That is 20.
I'm gonna
There
give
you go.
that potion of invisibility back to Serafina. This was very thoughtful. I appreciate that very much. So, I have some boots that make me damn near silent, and I can make myself invisible. Should I go on a scouting mission? See what I can see before we start having, murdering dogs?
The fact that they're werewolves means that they will probably be able to smell you.
Oh, yeah, I might actually have a spell for that too.
So even if they
Oh
can't
no,
see you-
minor illusion doesn't do a smell.
Go ahead and give me initiative, everybody, and then we're going to be using initiative whether you guys get in fights or not is up to you guys. But and your rolls, of course. But oops, I just deleted the wrong one. But we'll be using initiative order for kind of moving amongst the area to see if when these people aren't the werewolves and the direwolves aren't standing still. Edgy. You dropped a 1 for your initiative. You have an advantage on it.
Before we start this, I gotta go use the restroom and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Can we see an entrance?
Did you say, can you see an entrance?
Yeah.
No. Is that too loud or is that still? I just turned it down. Is that okay now?
Yeah.
It's basically, it's not okay. So the limits like here. So there is a porch there, so there's some light coming from right there. But down here, what is it? Oh, it's left and right click together. There we go. No, I was trying to figure. I couldn't remember what the marker was to do that. So that is a road that leads into the center of. Well, this part of the route, part of the village, is not very big. It's basically if you get to the other side of this, like to the far corner of this area, then you'll get into where the camp is. So basically, pretty much got to get across all of this while sneaking, or killing, which might go very badly. So, anyways, that's a way in. For here is another way in. Over here is a way in. But this stuff is the red coral, and if you get too near that, that could be bad according to me.
Alright, I'm back. I'm back.
So what I was just telling them, Fox, is, or Justin, is this area. So Sarah
I'm
was
that convincing. I am that
yeah,
convincing.
really. Becky/Sarah was just asking if there are ways in. This whole thing is an open village. Like this building here, that looks like it's a building. You just can't see the other side of it. This is a separate building over here. This is a separate building over here. You guys just can't see far into the village. One, because it's dark, so it's dark out, and two, because the walls. So you
Yeah,
can't
and there's
see the other side
dozens of these guys, so we can't just go in murdering folk.
Yeah. So basically, this right here looks like it is a way that, like, you can see all of this coral crystal-y stuff. You can see through it. It's not obstructing you very much. It's not very small. But that kind of line. By the way, you do see that it looks like there are little bits of it on the ground as well that might be very noisy if you were to step on. So keep that in mind. Stepping near them is going to be noisy. But anyways, over here, that's a way into the village. Same with right here. It looks like those are both kind of roads, at least areas that lead in. And then this way, there's another one back down.
So real quick, who has that map that the guy was carrying on the road? The dead one.
I think
So it lies written all over it.
Yeah, which house says... Which was the house that was marked on that one? Was it... Can we tell which kind of, based on that map, which house has been marked by it?
Yeah, if you guys pull that out and look at it, it would be on the far side of the tower. So this is only one kind of small section of the. Basically, the elves snuck you past another area, part of the area that would have gone
Got
to maybe to where that is. But as it's described, you guys, as you were coming down the hill a little ways, you can see that there's a camp on the far side of this. I don't know if the... Okay, so you see how I just drew that arrow in the bottom right corner? Way in the bottom right corner?
Oh, yeah.
Nest area? The camp is that direction. The camp that you guys need to get to. Presumably, if you're going after the beast with the black heart that they said to get.
Wait, so that's the arrows where the Beast of the Black Heart is?
No, the camp is that way.
All right, so this
Basically-
is... They think the Beast of the Black Heart's up in this area where they dropped us off.
No.
Oh.
They told you to get to the camp, and to get to the camp, you have to make it through these ruins first.
Oh,
The camp's
Jesus.
on the other side of that, yeah. And then the camp is its own big map, too. So,
Oh, we're gonna fucking die. Okay. All right. So, based off this map,
by now,
We've got a-
this
we've got a
dialogue
very-
has moved around.
we've got a
and
very
it's like-
far away to go.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna scout, guys. I think that would be good for us to scout.
True, but if we have to stay away from these red crystals, there's really only one option,
Well, we can go.
at least to start with.
So you mean should we go east to those bushes over by that building?
Fox, I didn't realize you were gone. Did you? I guess how long were you gone?
I said I'd be right back when Justin.
Oh, okay. All right. So you didn't miss too much then. They were just talking about ways into the area. The bottom right corner, Fox, if you zoom way out on the map, see that arrow that is drew down there, pointing to the bottom right?
Okay, so we need to get.
That's the edge of this map, but that's where the camp is that you guys are looking for, is down that direction.
We
So-
need to get down here.
Well, so zoom way out, and you see that arrow in the bottom right corner, and it's just pointing off the bottom right. Basically, you guys need to make it to the bottom of this map, or to the bottom right, somewhere in that area, and that will lead to the next map, which is the camp itself. That's where the camp is. You guys could see it when you were coming down the slope. You could see that this ruined area here, once you get past this, is where the camp is, and that's where they told you to go is to the camp.
Oh, okay.
And there are werewolves and wolves patrolling around inside of this area. It looks like they're working and building and stuff like that. So they're all over inside of this place. Can't get too close, or you don't want to get too close to the crystals, the red coral, and you got to kind of sneak your way through this, just because there's so many of them that if you guys get attacked, that could be bad.
So I can pretty much make all four of us invisible, but we're still gonna make sounds and we're still gonna smell. Does anyone have some way to make us extra stealthy?
I have passed without trace.
That would be pretty much it. How long does that one last for?
Up to an hour for concentration.
Mine also lasts up to an hour. It's like it was meant to be. But remember, if you're invisible and you do any attack, you're not invisible anymore. So,
So, Togo, are your boots magical? The ones that keep you quiet?
they're elven boots. They're very sneaky.
Right.
I
how would
definitely
you feel-
didn't steal them from a noble person.
Right. How would you feel about riding the broom and giving those to Norok?
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't fit in them. Let's see.
But if they're magical, they should.
Resize.
I
might also
I
have to.
particularly don't like that rule. I don't that it hasn't really come up yet, but I don't like that stuff automatically resizes. In this particular case, I would say that the effect of them is not wearing them, but rather just kind of having them on
Attunement.
the person.
And you have to attune them. You might have to wait a while.
Alright, well, we don't have that much time. The attunement takes an hour, right? Short
Yeah.
rest?
But if we have pass without trace and we have invisibility for an hour, we can maybe sneak through. And then maybe if we have to kill one or two, we can figure it out.
I hope Leo walks by and makes fun of you.
Yeah, that probably will happen. Worst case, maybe we can do a drive-by fruiting if we need to. That's the voice I'm going for. Mr. Fire. Alright, I figured it out. I know how to do this now.
It is a female voice that has your fake Scottish accent, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yep.
Alright, dearies. shall we start heading eastward as quiet as can be, and I can cast invisibility, or does anyone have a better idea?
Nope. Sounds good to me.
And then I'm also... How long does this last for? Alright. So, I'm also going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Norok.
Yep.
Which I do like that.
How long does it last?
10 minutes. So you get an extra d6 on an ability check. So if you need to roll an ability check, you can roll an extra d6 with it if it's super
D8.
necessary.
Here's a
Or
D8.
D8, I'm sorry, you get an extra d8. Alright.
And you can
I'm gonna
choose
cast invisibility.
So if you roll a check and it's too low, you can choose to add it to it.
Let's see, let me double check on this. Alright. Third level or higher, you can target additional creatures above level above second, so... Oh shit! I can only cast it on... Oh, it's my 4th level spell.
Yeah, that is your max level.
Alright.
Before Pogo casts that, I would ask Artemis to cast the Pass Without a Trace, so then she's not uninvisible.
I already casted it.
Yeah,
Does
she
anyone
cast
else-
it, Greater invisibility is 1 minute. You realize that, right? It's not an hour.
Oh, this is invisibility.
Greater invisibility. Oh, regular invisibility, not greater.
Regular. No,
Okay.
greater I can only do in myself.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. That I thought that's what you were doing was your 4th level. Yeah, because regular one is up to an hour.
Oh, alright. Guess I'm using my 4th level spell on you fucking people. Alright. Totally worth it. Oh,
Oh man. Even if she doesn't hear it, I might tell Leah to go listen to this later so that she can hear it.
Alright. Let's go. Are we just going to do the combat tracker?
Yeah, we're going to use the initiative order. As you guys spot things, they'll show up on the initiative tracker. That one, I'll tell you, the initial werewolf that you saw has gone by, and the dire wolf has back and is kind of sniffing at this tree over here. But another werewolf has appeared from the other side. I'm just going to use the same one for simplicity. But he's kind of walking this direction. Looks like he's walking this way. Sorry, is he? Oh, he's not visible to you guys. Sorry, hang on. Wait, he should be visible to you guys. Why is he not showing up?
There he is.
So he looks like he's walking that direction, like he's probably going to go around.
But if he's still over 100 feet away, so I'm going to sneak. No, I can't dash and sneak, right? I can
Correct.
just.
If you're
go
stealthing,
down
technically it's at half speed.
All right, so.
You have half your speed if you're stealthing.
20, 25, 30. Oh, half speed?
Yep.
What? So if I use. Well, I'll just move right here then.
Okay, give me stealth checks for everybody that's. We'll just use those for now. I'll ask for new ones probably every turn, but basically as we're moving along, I'll ask for new ones incrementally. Shit, good roll so far.
If I'm hovering on the broom, do I need to do a stealth check?
You still do because you're moving through bushes and brush. Right
You could probably go higher if you wanted.
You are invisible.
I whisper.
Invisible and on the broom. It's just a matter of whether you're still.
Wait,
So,
did we
no
discover
matter
is the broom invisible when she's invisible?
Did
No,
we make a
it's-
ruling on that?
I can't remember what it was.
Was last time, but I think he had to use the higher level spell.
Well, I think when I had to make both of us invisible. No, it was invisible because it was when we were getting off the ship to go to the roofs in that town. And as long as both of us were invisible on the broom,
That's
then the broom was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's invisible then.
I was like, we've done this before. A long time ago.
So, nope.
Shit. All right. And Norox was the lowest, and he got a 17 because of Pass Without Trace. But you guys got 30, 27, 17, and 29. So you guys are very carefully moving through the low tree branches and the brush of this. Still, what's that?
Oh, never mind. I'm gonna use the stone, and I'm gonna whisper into it. Did she fly higher? Or is she still super low? Are you?
Up to you.
Sarah, are you here? Hear me, Sarah?
How high are the bushes?
The trees are 30, 35 feet tall at the top of the branches. The bushes are probably 4.5, 5 feet tall.
I'd probably be like 7 or 8 feet up, so like Norok high.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna whisper into my stone. I'm gonna say, wait, can I talk 1-to-1 or is it just group chat only? Is it a party line?
Fox won't know what that is, but back in the day, you used to have, before conference calls, there were what are called party lines where you could have multiple people on the same call. But anyway, I would say that you can communicate individually to each other.
Okay. Seraphina Pineapple. I've changed my mind. I think I get up on that broom with you.
I'll just float down and just touch his shoulder.
Well, you're not gonna know where I'm at.
At best, you're having to like listen for like the subtlest of the brush being smashed up. Like occasionally you see a giant footprint appear in the brush. You know, with Norak like smashing them playing.
Probably won't work, so don't worry about it.
I'm gonna do a perception check for the werewolf that is nearby. Does not appear to notice you. Has walked kind of around the corner here, just making his way to the other side.
Can we tell? I'll roll a persuasion check or perception check. Can we tell if they're doing anything, or are they just walking around?
The one, go ahead and make a perception check, yeah, for what he might be doing.
What does it look like they're up to?
The one that you're seeing here that's close by is carrying a bag, and it looks like there's something heavy in the bag, and he's like with some effort, it's taking some effort. It's thrown over one shoulder, meaning it's very heavy, obviously, he's strong. That he's kind of walking along carrying. The direwolf on the other side looks like he's just smelling it, like sniffing at the dirt, and kind of pawing at it, like he's pulling a plant up.
Right. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead.
And where are you guys trying to get to? What is your goal? Are you trying to
I
cross the
think we're trying to get to here.
over the
there,
right?
so-
Okay.
Is that good with everybody? I know we were heading east, and I kind of assumed we were heading in this general direction.
Then in that case, I will say, what is your guys' marching order? Just for simplicity's sake.
I don't think we know. We're just all going that way.
Well, you can.
I'll-
So at best, Sarah and Pogo, like Sarah, you were not successful in grabbing Pogo, right? Pogo, you're still on the ground.
Sure, I'll just stay on the ground. I think that's fine.
Because she's the hardest. But for Norok and Arteme, you can see the depression in the plants every time their footfall step. You can see in the underbrush where their footsteps would be. Pogo, your shoes don't leave footprints, so you would not be visible at all either.
I realized that pretty much not gonna see me, so don't worry about it. But I'm gonna hold that stone very close to my mouth, and I'm gonna say, pineapple.
It's in your ear. It's like
Oh,
if
okay.
you speak out loud. It's think of it like a Bluetooth.
So we can't see each other.
Hey, wait. If Pogo is in my body, won't his shoes not fit him?
See, that's what I was confused too, because were we wearing the same clothes? Because it sounded like we were wearing the same clothes, in which case
No,
I'm very uncomfortable.
no, you have her. So you were changed to appear as she did at that time. So your shoes and everything look like her shoes, but they're still yours. They're just.
Oh, it's all illusion. I thought it was like actually. Got it.
Yeah, it's all illusion. Well, I mean, it's physical in the sense that if you touch them, they feel like them. They feel like, like the hands feel like her hands and so on.
Got it.
But you're wearing. It looks like basically to everyone else, it would appear as if you're wearing their normal attire.
Okay, I thought like I was just like wearing super tight little halfling clothes.
So it would be amusing. But so then, I guess you without, I guess, as best as you can tell, what is your marching order? Is Norok in front? Is Arteme trying to be in front?
I can go in front. I'm quite sneaky, and I don't mind going in front. I'm very quiet.
By
Whispering
now,
this into the rock. Stone.
What's that?
I'm whispering into the stone.
And I'll go second, so that way I'm right there in case something happens.
Or
Okay.
spring into whatever.
There's a certain kind of just, you know how you can tell if someone's there or not. Like there's a certain kind of warmth and smell coming from each. Not necessarily a bad way, but in the sense that like you can tell if it's nearby. You still have a general sense of where people, especially as big as Norak is, for example. So if Norak's in the middle, Pogo's in front, and Artemis in the back.
Serafina just flying up high.
Yeah, Sarah's up above. Right. In that case, the werewolf that was nearest to you guys that you saw has stopped, and he set the bag on the ground over by that wall there. Looks like he's doing something with it. But you have made it as far as here, and I'm just moving you along on the map. You guys
Sure.
can see where yourselves are. We don't necessarily need to follow movement rules at this point, but if there's, again, if we then we'll use strict initiative order. But as you are making your way there, another wolf does appear. Oops, this one. In the. Oops, I'm making the right size. There we go. Coming up the kind of, it's not an alleyway, but coming up the walk this direction, kind of the same path that the other guy was on, as you've made it there. You guys doing anything?
I'm gonna peek around the corner in this next room, see what's
Go ahead and move
in this
yourself.
room.
I mean, like to that wall there?
So
The end of that
to,
wall?
like, right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna peek around this corner.
Everybody keeping close behind Pogo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you, I'll say to you guys would recognize this too, of course, but if you guys get separated, it's going to be very hard to find each other.
Well, we got our walkie-talkies, our rocky-talkies.
Yeah, but are you going to say, I'm standing on a kind of a rock that looks kind of moon-shaped?
I'm
what are you
also-
gonna do?
I'm also gonna. Are there any rocks on the ground I can pick up?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of like
I'm gonna
underbrush.
pick up a couple just rocks, so that I have a couple rocks in my hands.
Okay.
No, there's just floating rocks.
No, I think if I'm
Um,
holding those, they
Yeah,
become
once you pick
invisible.
it up, they start to fade a little bit once you pick it up and then you melt
Yeah.
onto it. It takes probably 15 to 30 seconds before they are completely gone, but they do fade out. So this kind of area here, there's a broken staircase that's supposed to lead up to a second floor that is not there, whereas a bunch of rubble has fallen in where the top floor of this building has been torn off, basically. But inside there are two wolves, the two dire wolves in the middle of the room here, that are just in there sniffing around. Like they look like they're pulling at plants. The same way that you saw them from a distance, you saw. Put them on here for you. You saw them digging at the ground and trying to pull away at plants, and it seems like that's what it's
Okay, I'm gonna move back into the. Actually, I'm gonna move. When I see like there might be an opening, I'm gonna sneak or stealth across to the other wall,
Okay.
and away from the door. I'm going to immediately tell through my little rocky-talkie. Just gonna say, careful, careful. Try to move like right over here, and then just whisper into my magical rocky-talkie, careful.
Everybody give me stealth checks. If you're trying to follow along behind Pogo.
I'm gonna have to roll for Ben to grip this out.
Okay. Then you guys, are you in the? What, did you just run in there, Becky?
No, the laptop's in the living room.
Oh shit! I forget he's playing from the laptop. I keep forgetting that he's able to play from the laptop and not from that workstation in the other room. All right. So as you guys are crossing, this is actually as Sarah is floating by. Nora kind of makes his way behind Pogo, and then with kind of as he's making his way past, one of the kind of white of the two, the grayish white one, sniffs like very loudly, like lifts his head up and starts sniffing the air, and kind of turns, and he slowly starts moving this way, kind of coming around the corner. He can't see you, remember, but he's kind of sniffing the air and following this direction.
Hey, can we see him moving or no?
Oh yeah. Well, you
I'm
hear
gonna,
him. Like, he's not trying to be quiet. You
I'm
hear
gonna
Direwolf.
throw a rock into this building as to the far corner as I can.
Okay. Like where that other werewolf is?
Kind of in that area.
Okay. Give me. We'll call it a just roll a flat d20, and we'll call it for your aim because your dex is +4. So you're not proficient with rocks, but we'll give it a +4. Yeah, 24. Okay, or 23 rather. You throw it off to the side. Would be distracted or not based on the smell versus the rock. Does okay. He immediately stops because it clinks against this wall over
Like
here.
you've got dogs, man. You try throwing
no.
a rock at like your door and see what they do.
It clinks against that wall and then lands kind of in the on the ground over here. And the direwolf immediately kind of the ears go off, turn that direction, and it snaps this way and then kind of hops around the quickly over to this side. The other immediately kind of perks up and goes in that direction.
What do I see more to the east? Are we blocked going more to the east?
Let me reveal that for you. I keep having to go in and out of.
I get it.
Sorry. Just forgot to switch back. Oops. Forgot to switch back in. That.
So I'm gonna say in the Rockies, the Rockies, and be like, so I just threw a rock and it worked very well. Make sure everyone has a rock to toss a rock. Or if anyone has some like hamburger meat they can throw in another direction, would also be very helpful. So what do I see? I see a tree, or is it block?
Yeah, more bushes. Well, remember, so this big one here, that is a tree, which means there's a trunk at about the center of that.
Sure.
And then there's some bushes beneath it, but it's not. The rest of it is here. Basically,
Okay.
just a big trunk, and like you guys can walk past. And then around the corner, you can see a little bit further. About yay. It looks like there's another broken area as you're kind of making your way to this. Are you moving to that corner?
Yep, I'm gonna move that corner, staying pretty close to the building, and I'm gonna again be like, all right, guys. As of now, I'm at the corner of the building, so we're working our way forward.
If everybody is following closely, then you can feel them nearby behind you. There's another torch right there, and there are visible to you from here. There are. I'm going to just pull these guys over. Two more that are kind of in this area. There's one right there, one werewolf, and then one direwolf. I'll one of these other. Well, actually, I'll use the other guy. There we go. So you can see those two. Another direwolf that is facing away from you, and a werewolf that is working on this wall. Like he's similarly has a bag of materials on the ground. Looks like he's trying to repair or work on that wall, and a wolf over there that is pulling in plants. Oh, it's still moving. Shit. There we go.
It just drag it. Oh, because you gotta actually tell it to like move.
No, I put it there. For me, it was there 45 seconds ago. It just takes a long time on these big maps for the icon to move. That's one of the things that the 64-bit version will change. Anyway, so that's where you see those two. It's been back, Becky.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
Right. The direwolves are not terribly strong, right? They're just like a large wolf.
Yeah, pretty much. You got that, G?
Yep, checking it now.
Yeah, direwolves are just large wolves.
So I'm gonna whisper and I'm gonna ask into the. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to throw another rock this way down. Can I see down this way, or is it blocked by stuff?
No, you can. Now that you're peeking around the corner, you can actually see coming down, especially because there's more light. Let me go back in the master mode here. You can see more of the kind of red coral stuff there as it goes down that direction, and then another bush
Can I tell, are the wolves avoiding the quarrel, or are the wolves...
Yeah, they're not going near it. They seem to be keeping at least a little bit of distance from it, but otherwise they're not trying to work it. Whereas it's clear that they're trying to rebuild or build stuff. Like they're like there's hammers and tools, and they're putting things up in place and trying to like build walls and that kind of stuff. It seems like, and then this wolf by now is gone. He's gone. Like he's the wolf that was over at the edge there. He's not visible to you any longer. He's gone around the corner of that wall.
I'm gonna throw another rock down this way. See what this wolf guy does.
Okay. You toss it along. Go ahead and give me another roll. Just a flat d20. We'll have the floor. Okay.
Not great.
You throw it off into the distance, and it tinks across the what would be a road, but it's been long since overgrown. And this one here kind of stops, looks that direction. Probably be below the passive, but I'll try it anyway. Looks over there, and then just kind of turns back to what he was doing. Where he's putting planks up, like he's trying to repair a broken section of a wall here.
So I'm going to whisper into the stone. So, might be able to sneak up behind this one, critically murder it. Does anyone have another idea, or should we just try to sneak around?
Sorry, you can see a little bit into. Go back to the map one here. A little bit into behind him now that you're around the corner there as well. Go into this area here. In fact, actually, you can see that the wolf has just moved his head and gone further into that area. What is Nork doing?
I'm assuming that since I'm invisible, if I look down, I can't see my own hands or arms or whatever, right? Okay.
Yep.
Then I'm just going to remember what you told me and keep an eye on that, because I think Norok would possibly realize what it might be, being familiar with animals on the plains and everything. So, well, okay. My assumption, again, I don't even know. So try to keep an eye on that, how I feel. And then I'm going to... okay, so we needed to go where that direwolf just got revealed, right? That's our...
We need to go,
You need to get way to the bottom
southwest.
Okay, and there's
so we can go, straight down past him. Try that.
It does look like the red coral is kind of blocking most of... you can't... They're just peeking around the corner since you're still invisible and not, necessarily worried about your head being visible. You can see that this red coral stuff is kind of filling that center area. Now, there is a thin enough spot that you can walk through, but you being close to it, you can see that it is kind of mixed in with the ground, and if you step on it, it's going to crunch, and that'll make sense.
Not to mention the fact that they said try to stay away from it, so we're going to want to avoid it best we can.
Yeah.
We should probably go around.
Keep going straight east, maybe? If that keeps going that way, I can't really tell.
Not
so
much.
You guys, there's a tree in the way that's kind of blocking most of your vision. I'll go ahead and reveal a little bit, like you guys. That sounds like a baby. Is that Rufus?
Toy. Yes.
Sounds like a baby.
I thought you guys were murdering a parakeet.
Keep accidentally drawing circles instead. So that's actually bushes and everything back there. Can't really see around the corner, but there's a wall. You guys can see a little bit of, basically like this, where it's kind of broken down.
All right, what do you guys think? Go that way. See if we can get through.
That works for me.
Okay.
Are you guys splitting up, or are you all trying to move together?
I mean, we should stay together, right? I mean, since we can't... Obviously, we all realize that we can't see each other, so we should probably...
I think...
Well, yes. Just remember, this guy is... The 14 is pretty close to where you guys will be walking by. He's like 20 feet, 30 feet away. And if you're walking that close to him, he might smell you or hear you, and so on.
So, like, maybe move up a little bit?
Well, so because of the edges of the map, there's probably a little bit of room, but I'm just going to assume that we'll just call it that there's that's where the patrols would see you, essentially. That's the other encounter that you guys kind of bypassed. What's Artemy doing?
I'll just follow the group for now. Stealth is probably our best record.
Okay.
Right. I can't cast more spells while I'm visible, or it'll break me out of it. I say if anyone becomes visible, they should try to fight everything off on their own.
So you don't reveal the rest of the invisible people.
I think that's a pretty bad idea.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. If anyone... Oh no, because if anyone casts a spell, it's rot. Alright. Sneak through.
As you guys have waited quite a while, just kind of standing there, probably 5 minutes or so, trying to discuss what to do quietly.
I'd probably scout to see if they're moving a pattern or while they were talking.
From what you can see, because you can see others moving further south as well, you can't really make out exactly, just because there's stuff between you and them and it's dark out. But you can see that there are others moving amongst these ruins as well. Go ahead and give me a perception check, I guess, on Artemis. This whole time, by the way, there are like hammers clanging.
Perception?
Perception. Like it's pretty noisy. Like there's a lot. That's the same with.
Oh, that's good. I thought it was like dead quiet because it's like
No.
10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. Or
No,
whatever.
as you guys were approaching, remember, you guys heard it like 10 minutes away, 10, 15 minutes away from the town, partially because there's a lot of moisture in the air, so the sound carries. So you were hearing like banging and working sounds the entire time, and that's still continuing. Like they're clearly working, and that, like there's just stuff being, heavy things being dropped, like boards and like that. Just obviously loud, like construction style noises. It doesn't appear that there's any routine, and none of these appear to be like patrolling. It doesn't seem like these guys are like looking, or guards, or looking for anybody. It just seems like they're just building.
They're doing wolf meth. I've seen this before. This is what happens when you do wolf meth.
In the
Start
middle
building
of construction,
and doing. You get a hammer and you're like, it's 2 a.m. I'm fixing the toaster. That's how this works.
It does seem a little like that, although they're
I
not.
kind of feel bad for them now.
You see,
That's what all this red crystal is. They're doing the red crystal.
It's Breaking Bad, only red. That's what it is.
It's red crystal meth. Poor dogs.
But you see werewolves like reach an arm up, like wiping sweat off their brow, kind of thing. Although, never mind. Actually, because dogs don't sweat. They only pant. So I guess they're just panting very loudly, that kind of stuff. Like clearly they've been working hard. Basically, is the impression you get. Like they're probably tired and working.
Our best bet is just to try to sneak by.
By the way, sorry. The one that was working on the wall there has moved further south. You guys, until he's not visible anymore, he's basically gone out of your.
All right, let's go south. Let's sneak down south. I'm gonna look around the corner and see if these other wolves are still just doing
Back to the other ones that are in the corner there.
just to make sure they're still sniffing around.
One's gone. He's not visible anymore. And then the other is kind of over in that corner there, and looks like he's pulling on the root of a plant, trying to pull it up.
All right, so Pogo's gonna say, all right, let's sneak south then. Or do you want to go east? I say south or east. Either south or east.
The red crystal is south, so should we go east?
All right.
Go ahead and
Real quick, we can tell that we're like there is a little bit more beyond this building.
So over here, as soon as you get to here, this is too thick to get through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, we're gonna go south. We're gonna go south.
Well,
For sure.
so I mean, the building part, this isn't a wall, so you can move through that. But over here, that brush is so thick that if you move through it, you're for sure going to make noise. But there is a wall right here. In fact, I'll go ahead, now that you're there, you can a little better. That can be mass mode. I bet there's a hotkey for going to mass mode. That would be handy.
So I'm gonna peek around the corner, my visible self.
Yep. So coming around the corner there, you can see that there's more broken walls all the way around. This down here, that is like a chimney, and there are mats all along the ground. I didn't put all the individual ones, but there are mats all along the floor over there, like straw mats, like sleeping beds or sleeping bags rather, thing, all over there. And there are more werewolves that look like they're sleeping right over there. and it looks like they're all in a big row that goes like this way. Like it goes further than you guys can see because of that community.
I'm gonna go back and be like, nope, we don't want that way, guys. We don't want that way. We gotta go through the red crystal.
In fact, actually, by now this guy would kind of come up to this corner here, back to where the area that he had been previously.
Is that the
and
peon
pull
bush?
it on. Yeah, that's that he's pulling it at these plants. Arteme would have noticed this already, anyways, especially with their earlier perception check to notice where like if they might be patrolling. The wolves seem to be pulling up plants that don't belong here. The plants that they're trying to pull up roots and so on are the ones that are not. They don't appear to be like native species that you're familiar with. It seems like they're at least intelligent enough to recognize that these plants don't belong, and they're trying to pull them out like invasive. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
I mean, the red crystal's cool. It's just these plants. We gotta get rid of these plants, guys.
Yeah, they don't seem to be doing anything about the crystals. They don't seem to be. Maybe they're not concerned with it. You don't know, but they're not. They're staying kind of distant from it, but they're not doing anything about it. It seems like.
The more I think about the logistical problems about having a group of invisible people, the more it bothers my brain. In this game, I'm like, this is just not.
I'm
more I
kind of
think about
assuming that on some level that you guys are whispering using the Rocky Talkies,
Stones,
and then hand on a shoulder of the person in front of you kind of thing, or in Norok's case, like on like a kneecap. You have two halflings with you. Although I suppose with Sarah floating above, she could just have one on the top of his head.
I'm gonna in the Rocky Talkie. Can you fly up and get like a quick idea of what's all around us so we don't go in circles? Or like maybe a path on that? Help us find the path?
Sure.
Would that be a possibility?
Sarah will float.
You can act like I'll tell you where we're at, and then you can tell us where we need to go. I actually think this is a fantastic idea now that this has happened. Does anyone else agree with me here?
How far up do I have to float?
To be able to get a picture of this, not far, probably 40 feet.
Okay. 40 feet up, would I have to make like a wisdom saving throw or something?
Yeah, I think so, because I think it was 20-ish feet before when you were, getting the shakes. So we'll go ahead, especially because this isn't in the middle of a fight. This is a tense situation, but you're not like focused on something like that. You sail your way up, kind of carefully and slowly, getting up, above the eye line of the tops of the buildings, of the single-story buildings. Two of these would be two-story buildings that the roof is in on. But as soon as you make your way up, kind of past that point, there's this kind of sense of equilibrium that washes over you as you make your way above what would be the first floor, and your one hand that is still holding onto the broom gets like super sweaty and very slippery all of a sudden, and you lean to one side. Give me a dex save.
Now this is with disadvantage, right?
Yes, because your hands are jittery.
Yep.
Oh, this is bad.
This is gonna be so much fun. Oh my god.
You slip to one side and try your best to grasp onto the broom, and it slips like your hands just spasm in the last second, and you go plummeting. It's only about 12 feet to the ground, but it is enough to knock the air out of you, which is 10 for every 10 feet. So you take 6 damage, unless are you going to react? It's only 12 feet,
No.
but there's a problem, of course, of hitting the ground. Okay. So if you're not reacting, then if you're not going to do anything, then you hit the ground with an oomph, which knocks the wind out of you, and immediately there's a moment of silence where the noise, like the banging noise, stops nearby, and you hear loud sniffs in the air. And not when you take damage; you're still invisible, but a very large, very curious-looking wolf comes bounding around the corner toward you, straight in front of Pogo's face.
I'm gonna throw a rock at the red crystal.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the roll again, as he's going to have advantage and avoid it because the noise that Sarah made was very human
Roll with
sounding.
disadvantage?
No, you're just going to make the attack roll basically to see if you hit the area. So just roll a flat d20 with a +4 to see if you hit it. Yeah, 15. So you do manage to hit the crystal over there. We will see if the dire wolf is distracted by it or not. There it is. He has advantage. He sniffs. He kind of turns and you see his head snap in the direction of the crystal that you threw it at. But he sniffs the air and starts pawing his way forward. He's literally about to walk for Pogo.
Okay, I'm going to start walking backwards.
Okay.
And kind of hoping
walking
someone
backwards
else
and being stealthy. You got 15 feet of movement. Go ahead and move yourself. Sarah fell on the ground right where she is, so that's where she hit the ground, and that's where the wolf is moving to.
Where is my room? Because I'm assuming when I fell off of it, it became invisible.
Yeah. So it's 12 feet up, 13 feet up. Because as soon as you pop off of it, with the additional weight, it kind of equalizes, and then bounces itself up a little bit. So it's floating above you.
And then I'm going to pull some rations out of my pack, and I'm going to kind of crumble them up and then throw them on the other side of the wolf, like kind of past its face, like over its body, like kind of to the side of it, to where it makes a little bit of a sound.
What are these rations? Are these just your dry rations?
Are the dry rations not any like salt or anything like that?
They're not. You know what? Yeah, there probably would be some salted meats. Okay. So you're going to try to crunch them up in your hand first and then throw it?
No, I'm just going to toss it to the side, like to the side of the wolf. So like about in that general direction.
Okay. They are invisible as they leave your hand. As they leave your hand, rather, and they stay that way for a few seconds at least. But the smell, on the other hand, when they hit the ground, the wolf stops in his tracks. He is already, he's basically right in front of you, but he stops in his tracks, and you see him kind of leaning over, like his head turning over one shoulder, and he sniffs at the air, and he kind of begins to turn that direction, that way. What are Artemis and Norak doing?
I'm gonna whisper, because we're all standing up right now, right?
Sarah's still on the ground. She hasn't stood up yet. You can't see that, but yeah.
No, I would stand up once I saw
We're gonna murder this. We're gonna murder this fucking wolf right now. And I would like to. Oh no, I can't, because we're gonna. Never mind. Abort.
Question: Shane considered a spell or an attack from me?
Probably a spell.
It is an attack from you, yeah. It wouldn't be a spell, it's an ability, but it would be considered an attack that you're making a hostile action.
That's what actually I was wondering. If I do like Mage Hand or Minor Illusion, because it's considered a spell, so as soon as you do a spell, this one's over.
Yep, both those would be. Now, certain class abilities wouldn't be, but if it's like Shan wouldn't, or her summoning it is a Hound of Envelopment, it's her ability, and that would not be considered a spell, because it's not, but it is a hostile action.
Okay, yeah, so.
Therefore, for that reason.
So I am then gonna, as it turns, I'm gonna pick up another rock, and throw it in about the same general direction.
What are Artemis and Norak doing? There is a giant dire wolf, head, mouth at Artemis' face, level above Pogo's head. Pogo or Norak can be, chest height for you. But a very large dire wolf that is just starting to turn towards some food that Pogo has thrown, but it is very close to you guys and could smell you easily. Are you guys doing anything?
Yeah, me too. And then just be ready, to keep an eye on it in case it does try to act and all. I'm not going to grab my axe yet, but you know what I mean. Be ready.
Yep.
Looking at it real close.
All right. Oh, I mentioned rolling with advantage.
Can we move and keep weapons ready?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have your axe out.
I'm gonna keep my rapier out and readied, and at the first sign of an attack on me or anyone else that's within range, I'm gonna attack the creature with just a rapier attack.
Then Sarah, you managed to stand up before he came around the corner, because he said that as soon as you fell. So I mean, technically it's a little bit of a retcon. He didn't say that at first, but he does slowly pad his way over to where the meat is, slowly starting to appear on the ground, like salted jerky, essentially. And it's kind of slowly fading into ability again after it left the enchantment from being in Pogo's pockets. And he's kind of sniffing at it, and then you see him kind of licking the ground and picking it up, because it's very small pieces for him. So he's kind of one long lick, and he's picked up all the pieces.
I'm gonna throw another one, like 15 feet further away from him.
Okay. All right.
I'm down,
good
down at 2.
I'm hoping you hit him in the back of the head or something like that. Oh, for some reason that rolled, the number on the die was a natural 20 to me.
Yeah, no, that's totally what it was.
is thing up second load here. There we go. He after he's kind of licked this up, he kind of sniffs the air again, and then sees it. And he kind of jumps towards it almost playfully, like
All right.
like meat's falling from the sky. Like he looks like a happy dog.
I'm gonna tap people around the corner. Hopefully, Sarah gets back on her broom, and then I'm gonna kind of.
The broom does come down if you summon it, Sarah.
I'm gonna
so pull it down to you.
I'm gonna say we keep running towards this middle section of openness, more so the middle,
Okay.
because it doesn't really matter. We're invisible. We might as well just get.
Yeah, you
south.
rushed around there. He doesn't seem to be noticing you. He seems to be at least paying attention to this, at least for a short time. You probably have another 6, maybe 12 seconds, so let's say round to 2 rounds before he'll be, no longer focused on that. But from where you were,
Oh, yeah. What do I
there's
see?
a wolf right over there. Well, there's a wolf that's, the one that you'd seen previously is kind of still pulling at a plant over there in the corner.
I'm still just gonna try to get down towards the middle.
Okay. So you're going to try to run. Are you trying to get through this area where it's all crunchy?
Oh, I'm trying to get just in this area right here before.
Okay,
I don't think I can reach the. I'm very small. can't run terribly fast or far.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, come on, guys, let's keep going. There's in between the trees. See the big trees? Get in between the trees, and we're gonna cross over there.
What's Sarah doing? You have the broom back. Are you hopping back on?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get back on and I guess start heading towards the trees.
Okay.
You guys can seem to give other options.
You got high enough to be able to. I'm going to go ahead and just reveal a little bit more of the area that you got high enough to be able to see before you fell off, so that you can kind of share. That you can say, "Hey, it looks about like this." You can't quite see the buildings themselves, but this area, this general area, you were able to kind of pick out. So it'll be revealed for you in a second here. About like that. That's about as much as you saw.
Does anyone else have any spells that can make smells? Like a smell spell? A smell?
What are Norok and Artemis doing?
Is that a wall on the left side or like a fence?
Looks like it's broken. We can move through it if we need to, I think.
Artemis, you said you were keeping up with Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay. She's floating on the broom, high enough that you can still kind of follow along. Where's Norok?
Just move down that way so I can still see them a bit, but maybe I have a look around and have a vantage point too, because there's a break in the wall right there, right?
Yeah, you can't see. You can see the 2 werewolves. You can't, or 2 dire wolves rather. You can't see your party member.
Okay.
The werewolf that was off to the other side is not visible to you guys anymore. This one has turned and has made it like he's gone back inside. You can't see where, but he's gone back inside basically a bit. What are you guys doing?
I say we just keep going south. What do you guys think?
Yeah, probably.
Only
Going
2
straight
of us.
south does mean crossing the area that has the in the dirt.
I-
It's going to be crunchy.
How far, like how wide is that area?
You're across
So
from here.
that blue line, it's still got coral in it. I didn't sprinkle enough of it. Basically, it's like
So-
a.
Just pretend it's all coral right there.
Well, not you. You definitely can walk through it. The big crystal areas you can't, but this area you definitely would be able to walk through. It's just going to make noise.
And I was just wondering if it was wide enough for maybe Norok to jump across it, or if
No, it's
the
like 30
coral is
feet.
too spread out.
It's probably 20 feet in width. Yeah.
So
So,
can both Arteme and Serafina get on that broom?
Yep.
And I don't make any fucking noise when I walk, so Norok, he's just gonna have to make some fucking noise, big guy. Use that bardic inspiration I gave you if you need to.
by the way, it's actually been more than 10 minutes by now. You guys waited in a few spots. That's definitely fallen by now.
Oh, and
mean
we
you
can't
can
we
be
can't
gone.
recast it. Oh, it'll drop invisibility.
That's an ability, not a spell.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's do that.
I mean, you have to be able to like inspire him, so you have to be able to like give him a pep talk.
Oh, I thought we were talking about. The. Do we still have the passed out trace?
I think that's an hour. Yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh
it's an
yeah.
hour.
Okay. Whew. Yeah. I'm gonna in my Rocky talk and be like, Norok, you're the biggest, strongest, bravest man I've ever met.
You
That's
feel
it.
inspired,
That's
Norok?
what you get. You feel inspired? You should. That's more things than you've said in the last 14 minutes.
If Mrs. Doubtfire believes in me, I can do it. I'm like that ugly little kid.
Laddie.
Remember that kid, Jeremy? We fucking hated that kid. Remember?
I don't
The little
remember
girl that was on Mrs. Assfire.
I
And then
don't.
she was on a few other movies in the '90s. Little brown-haired girl.
Oh yeah, the
Child
one with
actors
the eyebrows.
fucking- Like in general, child actors have been awful forever until like maybe 10, probably not even quite that much. Probably like 6 or 8 years ago.
I don't know. Macaulay Culkin wasn't bad in like Home Alones and
No,
stuff like
the
that.
thing is,
he
he
was
was-
8 years old or 9 years old.
Oh, it's fair. I'm not saying that actors or that kids should be good actors. I'm saying that most of them are just awful actors.
Mm-hmm.
Like to the point where that trying to sound precocious is just like nails on a chalkboard to me. And I try that a lot. He got a little bit better, like later on, but like in The Good Son, he was great in that. Both him and
Hell
Elijah.
yeah.
But in the Home Alone movies, it's definitely still like trying to be precocious. And to be fair, that's probably the director's fault. Him telling him to be that way, but that shit was always too irritating to me. I can't stand kid actors. Anyway, so then what is your guys' plan? So I mean, you've collected over nearby where this coral is. Sarah up on the broom. You guys are kind of gathered up over here.
Can Arteme and Sarah go on the broom together?
Yeah, to say I'm gonna float down next to Artemain, have her get on the broom,
Okay.
so we can just fly across.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna walk across.
All right, go ahead and give me. For you, yours is
Oh, actually-
automatic for Pogo, and I would say that Sarah and Arteme don't really make it. Obviously, being on the broom, and there's not branches or anything in the way, so I would say all three of you guys make it across without really any sound to be concerned about. So you guys all make your way to the other side of the coral there. What is the plan for Nora?
Fucking do your best. So the good news is there's still sound coming from other places. So you go ahead and try to walk across, and I'm gonna pick up some more rocks, and then I'm gonna throw some to distract. If you make too much fucking noise.
All four of you give me wisdom checks.
Uh-oh.
Wisdom saves. Sorry, wisdom saves.
Oh, this fucking rock.
All right. Okay. One, you all notice as you walk across, or as you're for Sarah and Arteme, you guys notice it's only very slightly, and only on your look down and see your shoes are glowing slightly, meaning that you are seeing these translucent feet, like the shape of feet as if they were drawn in like a 3D program where it was only the skin, like on the outside, is glowing slightly red. Only your shoe. For Pogo, as you're crossing this, your whole body is like you're covered in this like shimmery reddish kind of glow, like you have an aura but there's no skin behind it. Almost like looking at a heat map, like a thermal camera. But as soon as you've gotten to the other side, it fades. Actually, Arteme, you're still a little bit close. So I'm going to go and move you off to one side. But let's just say that while you were, while you were still close to it, you were still glowing slightly when you got to the other side.
Okay.
But for Sarah and Arteme, and Pogo actually, shit, you got. Yep. So I guess just Norok's the only one that's not hearing this. There is. Yeah, I for some reason I was seeing one of them as the other wolf. Oh well, that wolf got a 14 on its previous perception check. Anyway, the three of you, as you guys are near this coral, are hearing whispers coming from it, and it's beckoning you to come closer. It's resistible, but it seems like the longer you stay
Guys.
with this,
Oh, sorry. Sorry, folks.
the longer
I actually
you guys
thought you had something really important to say in the game there for a second. I got pretty excited. Guys.
that would be the most amount of excitement that has ever had, like when it comes to like something.
Alright.
This is exciting. So,
Away from
but
the red
you're-
rocks.
yeah, there's a whispering coming from it that is like beckoning you to come closer.
Fuck you, rock.
It's not insurmountable. You can kind of pull yourselves away until you kind of get far enough away, and then you don't hear the whispers anymore.
So is Norok across? Are we rolling stealth or
He
what's
hasn't
going on?
tried, yeah. I mean, you guys go ahead and roll stealth checks again. In fact, all four of you go ahead and roll stealth checks again. The three of you didn't make any sound when you were crossing it, but now that you're on the other side, just in case you're kind of keeping yourselves in a place that is invisible.
And then I'm gonna start. If if Norak starts making noise that I can hear, I'm just going to start throwing a rock or two in this general direction.
Okay. Then we'll assume you've readied your action to do that.
Yep.
What is Norak? What are you doing? Get across.
I think probably just having to step relatively slow would be the best way, because if I try to run and jump, then I'll make a lot of noise running, and then when I land on that with all my weight, it's going to smash like a motherfucker. So
Everything starts shaking.
Tiptoe. Yeah, exactly. So
We'll call it probably an acrobatics check, I guess. For walking across there as carefully as you can. It'll just be a dex check for you because you're not proficient. Trying to step as carefully as you can, as light-footed as you can to cross.
yeah.
Oh, wait, you have a bardic inspiration.
Oh shit,
Oh,
you do?
yeah. Yes, I'll use it.
Roll a d8. Go ahead and roll your d8, assuming you want to use it. Yeah, go ahead and roll your d8 up to the total. Third from the right. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, for a total of 9. As your feet are stepping in through these stones here, you kind of look down, obviously, trying to avoid stepping on as much of this coral as you can. And there's this just crunching, this just cacophonous sound. Like for you, it sounds so loud because you're trying to be as quiet as possible. And every footfall, you see this kind of flare of
Stop
light
eating
flying
chips in the
up
movie theater.
kind of like that, like corn nuts, really, like as loud as possible for crunchy sounds. But you're seeing this kind of light like flare up and envelop your legs up to probably like mid-thigh, like above the knee, of it kind of glowing around you. Give me another wisdom save with disadvantage. Just Norak. And I gotta see if they notice it.
And if I hear this noise, I'm going to throw a rock over
Okay.
there. Oh, no.
Well, the good news is they rolled really low, but Norak did not roll high enough to get the disadvantage at a 16. The sound that you're hearing coming from the stomping, where it first sounded like crunching, now sounds like whispers, and you are just compelled to stand still, like perfectly still, and turn your head towards the ground, just standing there, not moving, essentially stunned, listening to this, trying to hear what the whispers are saying, standing still in the middle of these coral that is making you glow. So your body is glowing, frozen in place, listening to these whispers.
Oh, rock.
Can't quite make out what they're saying, but
Keep walking. What the fuck is wrong with you, Norak? Get your big fucking ass over here.
you guys see him. You see this glowing shape. You can see all the shape of Norak, of course, that is glowing in the middle of this coral. Just
We've gotta get him.
inside.
We've got to get him. And so Pogo's going
Throw
to
your rock.
run up and try to start pulling him forward.
Okay, so you're not throwing your rocks. You're just going over to
Oh,
try to.
I'm going to throw my rocks because I was hearing the crunching. But
Okay.
now that I notice he's standing just there doing nothing, I'm going to go try to pull him forward.
Okay,
and
and
try
that
to get
rock
people
is
to
a
help.
D4. So you try to throw the rock,
Yeah.
and just because being distracted by Norak standing still, you kind of fling it, and it just slips out of your hand at the last moment, clinks against this set of coral over here, off of that, and then lands on the ground nearby. So plinks off of a nearby coral. This direwolf that you can see across from you that had started to go away, the one you fed, turns and looks this direction, and it's clear that it tilts its head to the side the way the dog does it, and is looking at. It looks like it's looking in your direction, but towards the glowing Norak.
Fucking. And then I'm gonna try to help pull Norak. Like, can you guys help get Norak out of the shit? So I'm gonna move back closer and try to just pull on his arm as hard as I can.
I'm gonna ask Arteme if she wants off the broom, and if she does, I'll drop her off, and then I'm gonna float up behind Norak and try and push him on his shoulders. Probably not gonna do much.
Okay.
We're gonna be fighting a
also
lot of
between-
fucking wolves.
Between Sarah pushing Norak and Pogo pulling. Arteme, did you get off the broom or did you stay on?
I'll stay on.
Okay. Then you guys trying to kind of help Norak move as best as possible. Give me an athletics check with advantage. And as you do this, there is a loud coming from behind you as this wolf is walking its way towards you. You guys heard the dog growl sound?
Oh!
Oh shit! Natural 20. You pull Norak out of that, out of the glowing, and he kind of stops. He's not glowing anymore. Norak, as soon as you get to the other side, you kind of have to look over your shoulders and kind of you want to step back in there. Like you want to hear what it is that it was saying, that the whisper was saying.
Norak, snap out of it! You big fucking animal man, come on! We need you! We need you to help us!
Bad news, guys. Go ahead and roll initiative again. But you hear this one of this direwolf on the far side is now barking loudly in your direction. Natural one for second one, Flycock.
Yeah.
That is a 15. He is barking in your general direction loudly and not stopping.
We need to run! We need to fucking run!
Can I use Judecraft on it to make it smell like a skunk?
To make the direwolf smell like a skunk?
Yes.
Druidcraft would be a spell that would drop your illusion or your.
It's a cantrip. Okay, never mind. I don't want to drop my invisible.
Let's just run southeast! Run southeast!
Are we still pushing Norak?
He's out of it, but he's like stunned still, like looking back at it.
Grab Norak and run southeast! We're all holding hands now!
The direwolf is barking and has there's attracted other from around anyways. See another come out of the building, the one that you've seen previously, and is kind of rushed over to kind of be nearby the other one, and they're both looking in your direction.
Okay, I'm going to say we should run this way, but I'm going to throw a rock that way.
Okay. All right, you go ahead and roll a flat d20 for me, Fox. Your dex is a +2.
Oh, we're doing it.
Are you freaking kidding me?
You throw the rock, and it plinks off of that same stone that Pogo had accidentally hit, kind of somewhat nearby you guys, and plinks onto the ground. Both of these direwolves now are barking very loudly, very angrily, and you see another from down below, from south here. Find him in there. Has peeked out of the nearby building over there, and is kind of looking this direction. And one of the werewolves is also, well, a werewolf, you hadn't seen him previously, has come from around this corner.
Who's got some food to throw? Someone throw some fucking food!
He's right there.
Oh boy.
You guys are kind of surrounded.
Yeah, but they don't see us yet.
Yeah.
They just know we're here.
If you're not moving, if you guys aren't moving, they keep kind of the direwolves marking.
Are we going in initiative order?
Yeah.
I'm going to say we move over to here.
So who's first? Norak?
Or
Or is it my turn?
I can tell you that if you guys are going to go, here, we'll start at the top here. With your new initiative orders. That was technically Norak first. Norak, you are temporarily kind of entranced a little bit, trying to hear what these whispers are. These fucking dogs won't stop barking, so you can't understand what the whispers are trying to tell you. It is Sarah's turn. Sorry, G. Or Norak is always screwed when it comes to, like,
within our Rocky Talkies, I'm just gonna tell Norak to just ignore the voice.
To the left.
It does seem like he's snapping out of it. It's just taking him a second. What's that?
To the left, that break in the wall. Can I see what's inside that building?
Yeah, you guys can see in there okay now. There are a bunch of broken boards, more of the crystal, coral stuff here. You can pretty much see that it is the roof is caved in, and there's another broken down ruined building. I'm gonna keep it warm, but
Okay, so I still have Arteme with me, so apparently she's coming with me. Alright, so I can get, like, right there. Do I seem hidden from, like, do the other wolves, can I see any of the wolves?
they're still moving in on this position, on pretty much where you were and where Norak still is.
Right, but I'm wondering, like, can if I drop my invisibility.
Oh, you mean if you were okay? I see. I would tell you if you could just spin the broom around so that Artemis wouldn't be visible, so that she's on the inside with you, and then if you were to drop your invisibility, you'd be okay.
Okay, then
From any creatures
I'm
that
going-
aren't there anyway. There are others around. You know there are more around. So whether or not you'd be visible, you don't necessarily know. But at least the ones that you know are here in this kind of square area, they won't be able to.
right. So I'm going to hold on to my potion of invisibility, and then I'm going to summon Shan to attack the white direwolf.
Okay, the one on the north side there.
One, yeah.
All right.
To pop up like right in front of him.
All right.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Go ahead and give me a. Do you roll initiative or because I mean I can automatically have it roll, but otherwise go ahead and roll.
I think I was just rolling a d20 and then we were adding in.
Okay.
So whatever hers was.
Hers is a +2, so a 10.
Her just showing up. Her just showing up.
Here.
Here. Good.
Yeah, I mean that could be a huge, a significant enough distraction, of course, because it is right in front of him. But the spokes coalesce in front of the two dire wolves, and they immediately are facing it like a dogfight, Michael Vick style, and they are kind of immediately growling at this shadowy creature. Remember, it's not really a hound; it's kind
It's
of
a monster.
Yeah, but
just
it does kind of make
quietly whispering to Shan that I'm sorry.
there's no response, but they're like barking and like incessant barking has gotten louder and more aggressive and angry at Shan now, presumably. That will be it for your turn, or any bonus actions?
Nope. I'm just trying to stay as close to the wall as I can, hoping nobody sees me.
Okay. Artemis, is Sai doing anything else? Or you just is she following below you guys?
She would still be on my shoulder.
Okay, so she can stay in, because as soon as she leaves you, she won't be visible, or she won't be invisible anymore.
Yeah, I know. So she would just stay there for now.
Okay. The others, this one, it was around there. You guys saw him working on the wall, and they get to. He's going to dash, make it to here to see what's going on. Coming around the corner, he does see Shan, of course, in the middle of this. So these direwolves fighting, or are kind of growling at and getting ready to fight this shadowy hound. It is Shan's turn. Go ahead and make an attack if you're going to. That hits.
Let's just get out of the way.
11 damage. All right. Shan latches into the front foreleg, like basically the chest and front left leg of the. He fails of the direwolf, and then rips away, just pulling a big chunk of flesh from the direwolf, who immediately yelps and falls down. Your dog falls down to the ground, head kind of collapsing into it, still alive, but seriously very wounded. That is it for Shan's turn. It is Pogo's turn.
Oh yeah, Pogo is going to.
The direwolf is like bounding along the ground, coming straight at you. In your direction, because Shan is on the other side.
Yeah, I'm literally just gonna move. How far can I move? Kind of sneakily.
Half speed if you're stealthy, but
If I'm
with
dashing.
your boot, well, that's
so
the
with
thing.
my boots, I can just run, I guess, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you would still be breathing and stuff like that, but I would say that those wouldn't count. Like, really, the movement part is why it would be half speed for you normally. So I would say that you could dash your full speed because of your boot.
Okay, so then in that case, I will dash all the way across against this wall and stay quiet. And I'll whisper in my thing, I'm on the east. I headed all the way east. I headed all the way east. Whoa.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check with advantage. And is that if your turn? Do you do anything else?
Oh, did we lose our extra awesomeness? Oh, wait, no.
You mean
Plus
your
17.
inspiration?
Yeah. Never mind. I just realized there was plus 17 on the.
Yeah.
No, the. Nope. I'm dumb.
Yeah, that is that extra awesomeness. That 17 is. All right, it is Artemis' turn. You're on the back of the broom. You see in front of you Sarah appear and is visible directly in front of you as you heard Shan appear and the direwolf start to bark around the corner.
Okay. I'm going to ready my bow, but I'm not going to do anything.
Okay. You just have it readied in case something pops out. You need like a specific trigger.
Okay, so if a direwolf comes in from where we came in, or so
Is that from right there? Okay.
or from here, I'll shoot them.
Okay. All right. That's it for your turn then. Any bonus actions or anything? You can get off the broom, anything like that? All right. Then we will come back around. The direwolves are in a serious barking match, but the one that's on the ground is like yelping. Like I would say that at least Arteme immediately feels like this pang of like, this is just an innocent animal. You know what I mean? Like this isn't an evil creature. Is what it sounds like. But it's seriously wounded and in pain. And it is going to try to snap at Shan from the ground. Try to snap at Shan from the ground. Can't really stand up with that foot. Manages to grab her ankle, not by a whole lot. But a total of 6 damage to Shan. The other one that's nearby is bounding in that direction. It's going to try to go like next to the crystal, which there's enough space that it would try, I guess. So, G, go ahead and give me a stealth check with disadvantage on Norok.
Uh-oh.
To see if it would notice you, because you're just standing there, but you are invisible and you're not really moving. You know what? Actually, here we'll do it. Because it would normally be a disadvantage, but because you're not moving, but because that's actually in your benefit in this case, we'll call it a normal.
Okay. And I don't think it really, and it doesn't really matter, but I don't think wolves can bark. I think wolves can only growl and howl. I think only domestic dogs bark, technically.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, but they have.
I'm gonna Google it. I'm on it.
It's this is wolf barks. That's wolf barks.
Okay.
So like it's not quite the same as dog barks. It's like it's more of a yippy kind of a sound.
It's more of a snarling bark than an
First thing that
okay.
comes up is that wolves' vocalizations can be separated into 4 categories: barking, whimpering, growling, and howling.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't sound like a dog bark. It sounds very a lot more like throaty, I guess. Anyway, but you gotta.
I mean, in that sense, I'd say chihuahuas also can't bark. Whatever sound chihuahuas make doesn't count.
Guys.
They heard us talking about them.
Yeah, really. You got a 31 G. So this wolf just bounds right beside you and leaps his way over the coral there to try to surround Shan here, and just does not seem to notice you at all. And then is it for its turn? He had a dash. So Norok, it is your turn. You have kind of you shake your head enough to kind of get these whispers out of your mind, and you are free to move. You're able to get away from these. You do. You realize that the crystal, that the coral was whispering, but there is a werewolf that is like bounding straight in your direction, pretty much though.
All right, then I'm going to. So half if I'm moving slow, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Moving that way, hoping that I'm out of his way, and knowing that the team must have went in that general direction. I'm assuming past the red coral. So, and that was half because I had 40 normally, right?
Yeah.
So that's,
20 feet.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
you could do another 20 as a dash stealth, right? Or no?
Yeah, you can still dash stealthily. So if you're going to use your bonus
Okay.
action, or your action to dash rather, then you can move enough.
That's what I did.
I wouldn't have known exactly where they were going, so I would have just went in the same kind of direction. So down there. So
Perfect.
All right. Then you sneak out of the way, and Sarah, you are visible, but they appear to all be trying to surround Shan.
Right, so I'm gonna take my potion of invisibility.
Okay. You gonna drink it?
That'll be gone. Yeah.
All right. Then you chug that down. Arteme, you see her kind of beginning to fade away, like somebody's just taking the alpha on her PNG file and just slowly taking until she's gone.
That was such a dirty ass fucking thing to say.
Whatever. Most of you would get it at least. And you're gonna move.
Yeah, the full 50 feet of the broom.
All right. Then you go around the wall there, and then up to the side with Arteme still behind you. From over there, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just gonna use the walkie-talkie and tell them that we are a little bit southwest past the. I'm assuming that's like a broken wall or a fence that Norlock is by.
Yeah, that's a fence. Like a broken.
Yeah,
The fence
we're on
goes
the other side of that.
The horizontal parts of the fence are on the ground.
So they get a general direction of where we're at.
Okay. That's the area that you can see. You can see that inside here there's some more crystalline coral in that area there. Around this way, about like this, because this is pretty well lit. Now that you're in the kind of centery area of the courtyard, about like that. All right, you've made it out there. What is side staying with Artemis? So they are surrounding Shan, and I'll just say that she, I mean, she probably finishes off just for the sake of I don't want to play out an NPC versus NPC fight. So Shan manages to kill Direwolf 1 and just tears it apart as the others are kind of collecting around her. But go ahead and do me a favor, Becky. Roll a percentile dice to see how many rounds we're gonna roll a with that number. How many HPs does she have? She has 37. Roll 1d6, and that's how many rounds she's gonna survive before she'll be torn up by the creatures
Well, as
attacking
soon
her.
as her target is dead, she's gone.
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, and that is the one you put her on, which she would tear through. All right, in that case, we'll go ahead and roll a percentile dice, and we'll use that to kind of gauge the ballpark of how many we kill that one.
Third from the left?
Yeah, third from the left, and then you right-click it, and then top left for the percentile sign. Okay, so a little over average. We'll say that you guys have probably 18 seconds, 3 rounds worth of time to GTFO. So just for simplicity's sake, we'll go through initiative order to get you guys away from there, or whatever you guys are trying to do. It does seem like most of the ones that you had seen around here have moved over there or are moving that direction, and don't seem to be focused on you as much as they are focused on all of that noise and what's happening over there. So they did.
That was a great distraction. Fantastic. Couldn't have done better myself.
But I can't do that anymore because I only had one potion.
So if you guys are
That's sometimes how the cookie crumbles.
from Pogo coming around the corner here, you can see this leads off to, there's another building there, another ruined building. But you guys can pretty much, with that time, pretty much all of the occupants you guys have seen, both wolves and werewolves, have gone towards that fight with Shan. And you like it just sounds like a very very angry and violent dogfight.
So are we gonna go south or are we gonna go east? Oh, by the way, we'll meet at the tree right in the center past that big red crystal. So that would have been about 2 turns.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys have managed to make it there at least.
Do we?
There are. Go ahead.
Do we know if we're supposed to go south or east?
You just the camp is just past this building. So if you guys get past that building, then fine. And it doesn't seem like there's any other obstructions. For simplicity's sake, we'll say that you guys have made your way past this and to the outskirts, to the exit area of the, or to the outskirts rather of the camp, which has a wall around it. I'll go ahead and give you that map now, and I'll put you on it here in a second. So you guys can see once you come around that final building, you can see this camp area that you were seeing it from the top, seeing it from the outside. So there's a wall surrounding it. You can't really see inside anymore where you could because you were above it before. Now you're not above it, and there's not a lot of obstruction around it. It seems like most of the plants have been cleared around it. You guys all have this map now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna put you guys on here. The arc looks so tiny when I make the maps really big like this.
Right. The werewolves look huge.
Yeah, the werewolves are supposed to be 2 by 2 rather, so 4 total squares. But a size of 10 is what it's considered instead of a size of 5.
Oh, little guys are going up there. Look at them go.
There you go. So you guys are kind of as still invisible now. There are the potions that have spells, but you are looking at a wall. There's noise coming from the inside of the camp as well, and also some snores. There's clearly loud lupine and canine.
So I'm gonna tell them that I'm gonna go take a look. What's the nearest opening, window or door or any area that I might be able to see?
Not any windows or doors, but there are a few slats that are not perfectly placed, so there's a little bit of space between that you can see. So as soon as they're common enough that you can find one along within a 15 to 20 foot space.
So I'd like to look into the walls and see what I see.
Okay, go and move yourself to wherever along the wall you're trying to move. You're still invisible, but you don't see any others around, by the way. You can tell that there's definitely more alive inside. But all right, so from over there, you can. I don't have a. Like you can see a ruined wall inside, and like an awning. It looks like it's a tent, like cover for rain, probably. Inside there, and underneath it, there are 2 werewolves that look like they're asleep underneath that tent area.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell them, see 2 werewolves?
Did you guys all go over to the wall?
Are we all going up to the wall? Why don't we all see if we can find spots in the wall? You can go up a little bit on your broom. How tall is this wall?
It's only 8 feet. Not tall
yeah.
but almost north, like tippy toes could see over.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Why am I doing this shit? fuck, guys.
You offered and your boots are sound.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
As you guys are having this communication over the walkie-talkie.
Yes.
All right. Peeking over, then, trying to get a view of the place. You can actually see almost all of it. There is one area back in the past. That would have been you.
Do we see anything? We see anything flammable? Anything flammable?
Wood. There's a lot of wood, but otherwise not really. Not like no red barrels, video game style that says shoot this and it'll blow up kind of thing. But there are werewolves inside. There's 2 that are nearby, actually, almost right on the other side. So I'll go to just use the map for but here and another, they look like they're talking. Like they're definitely talking. In fact, actually, I'm going to put them a little bit further back, actually. But they seem like they're communicating with each other at least. You guys can see kind of a decent enough amount of the camp here. And it seems like they're sleeping, like there's a lot of werewolves that are asleep, and there are regular dire wolves moving around inside the thing.
I think we should sneak past. Is this the entire camp, or is there more of the camp that we can see?
This is the camp. This is the area that you saw from above.
And this is the area where supposedly this big badass dude is?
Yeah. He specifically was described as not that big. He was average in size, just had silver hair.
So, should we try and murder the ones who are sleeping? Or should we divide and conquer and try to murder them in multiple smaller groups? I mean, ultimately, we're gonna murder some of them. I need more teeth for my necklace.
That's a good enough reason, right?
What?
We can always have the teeth of the alpha.
Oh, I bet he's got some great canines. So as we're looking around, is there literally like not an entrance, or is it all walls?
The part that you guys are standing in front of is supposed to be a door. Like it's a door in the sense that you could pick it up and move it. Like a big pallet you could just pick up and move essentially. And that's about as much of a door as this thing seems to have.
Right, I've got an idea. What if I sneak in and cause a distraction? I'm very sneaky. And then when I cause a distraction, you can fight off some of these baddies? Or do you want to do some other way? Or should we try to murder the sleeping ones first? We are still invisible. Can I do a quick front perimeter check of just this area? See if I see Anything else that I can get over through without having to open a door?
Sure. Give me an investigation check. In going back and forth across, like along this haphazard, like hastily made wall, there are a lot of places where the wood frame of this kind of fence, it's more fence than wall really, is stuck out a little bit, and you feel like you're small enough and light enough that if you kind of ran your way up this, it's not much of a slope, but it's probably sticking out 30 degrees or so. You feel like if you kind of ran up and got a little bit of a running start, you could probably make it up halfway through the size of this fence and then grab onto the top of your car.
All right, Rock. Why don't you just lift me up? That sounds better. I feel like I'd go and I'd look and be like, well, I could parkour up there.
You feel like, especially because your boots don't make sounds, you feel pretty confident that unless you rolled too low, basically barring disaster, you could jump over the other side, acrobatic style, and be just fine.
Right. So maybe I should cause a distraction to get them to open. I'm just gonna open the door. I'm gonna cause a distraction away from the wolves, and you guys open the door, okay?
Okay.
And you guys can come in on the broom, and Norak can come in on the...
What?
Okay, so I'm gonna cause a distraction. They fly over on the broom. Norak, he comes through the door and tries not to piss everyone off. Norak, do you want to see if maybe there's an area you can climb over?
I mean, you saw the front of it. There isn't anything that he would be able to climb over. But
stealthily, quietly.
Yeah, I mean, he's tall enough that he can just grab the top of the fence and kind of, pull up until he's over the top, but it's probably going to knock the fence over. Like, he's too heavy and this thing isn't very well made.
What do you guys
There's plenty of shit around you guys could stack up. Like, there's a lot of building materials and broken logs and wood and things like that laying around that you guys could stack up to get inside if you find
We don't have a lot more time, so let's build up something on this outside as quietly as possible, so that we can get over the wall quietly.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll start moves.
Okay. Give me some sleight of hand checks for everybody that's helping to kind of build this thing and drag stuff over. Yeah, that'll be disadvantage for Arteme, or for Sarah, I mean.
Oof, terrible.
Oh, I didn't do there. There's another natural one. You all kind of gather around. Norak manages to be the quietest about this. Just instead of dragging, he just lifts the CBS logs up and tries to carry it over, while both Arteme and Sarah, trying to lift both of you almost at the same time, reach down to grab kind of this hastily cut chunks of wood, and immediately go to put your hand underneath it and lift it up, and there's a needle that just pokes straight into a finger for both of you, one into the palm, one into the finger, that just jabs straight into the hand, just a very sharp splinter, and you yank your hand away and shout in anger and frustration, being very much too loud about it, that there is a silence for a moment inside the camp, and then it sounds like you guys can't quite see inside now because you're not over by the wall. I'll tell you that there's movement from inside.
All right, should we just ready ourselves and attack them as soon as they come out? They won't be expecting invisible people.
Yeah, they're for them to. It's literally like a fence that is just standing pieces of wood together. It's not like a permanent structure. Like they literally just pick up a pallet and move it, and that's the door.
Let them come outside. We'll surround them and we'll all attack them at the same time. What do you say? Or we run?
I'm not sure we have much of a choice. We have to get in there.
Run or fight?
But if we stand on the other, move away from the door, because that's where they're going to go through. And
all right, move away from the door.
And jump over the wall as they go outside, because they're going to be looking outside, so we can go over the wall.
Me and Norak.
As they do that.
Me and Norak are going to run away. They're going to be on the broom, and they can fly over. And
yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try to just jump over the wall as they open the door.
You see the wall beginning to shake a little bit, and then lift up and move forward, and there is a brown furred werewolf that is just kind of lifted a chunk of the wall and has moved out as you guys are moving your way over here. He sniffs the air. Go ahead and give me a stealth check on Arteme and Sarah with disadvantage for both of you. Even with disadvantage, that's a good roll. The one that's was holding the chunk of wood has sniffed the air and kind of starts moving his way forward. And there's a kind of a low growl as he's moving towards you. It seems like he might smell the blood of the prick where you've grabbed a splinter. He is moving in your direction, and like looks like he's kind of breathing hard and started to get himself amped up. What is Norak and Koga doing? You guys were trying to climb over while they were doing that, right?
Yeah.
Give me probably athletics actually. I guess for just climbing up. Acrobatics for Pogo if you want to, because you can jump your way. What is Sarah and Arteme doing?
I'm floating 10 feet up and going over the wall.
Okay. As soon as you go inside, the one that seems to have caught the scent of the blood has run around the wall and is sniffing like just in the air, probably about that far away from you. This one, like, it seems to be coming back in the same direction. He is about to swipe at your spot. Give me a dex save. Just on Sarah. Both Pogo and Norak, you guys make your way inside. Arteme, you are on the broom with Sarah. Disadvantage. So roll that again. Trying to maneuver the broom out of the way. A very curious and a little bit confused werewolf claw smashes into the broom, knocking it out from beneath you. The two falling to the ground, each taking 10, for a total of 9 damage to both Arteme and Sarah. And with the landing and being right in front of you, there's not going to be any way for you not be noticed by this guy. Oh shit! I didn't think about that actually. Fox, for the pinprick, there is a concentration check you have to make, which would be a DC of 10 because there's only 1 damage. So make a Constitution save.
Oh, okay.
To keep your concentration on passing that trait. Okay, yeah, you managed to do that. But they are immediately growling and lunging at the space where the dirt was disturbed, where both Sarah and Arteme have fallen into the dirt. And we go ahead and give me a new initiative for combat here. If you guys manage to escape it, that's fine. But otherwise,
I just realized I've been muted this whole time.
oh, you were talking?
I was making comments and I was like, this doesn't seem like anyone's hearing stuff.
All right. So Pogo and Norak, you two are still invisible. But Sarah, well, technically all of you are, but Sarah and Arteme, you are, and are converged on you. Around the beginning of the round.
Real quick, do I see anything else inside the walls now that we are officially fucking here doing this shit?
You can see into this area here, but it doesn't look like much. It just looks like there's more tents in there, and you gather that there's probably more sleeping in there. And then there's more tents here, and it looks like this is the far side of the wall. See back this way. There's another wolf that way that is turning to come this direction. That's about it. But it is your turn.
All right. Let's see.
You see two direwolves that have converged on where Sarah and Arteme have fallen off of.
I got to do some checks here. Okay. I'm going to right around here in this general area.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern on these 2 werewolves to make sure I don't hit my friends.
All right.
And
so your invisibility fades when you cast it. This
does.
is concentration for you as well, so it fades for everyone, not just you, because you're the one that's concentrating. Actually, Sarah would still be. potion.
Yepers. Ah, oof. Hold on.
We're gonna do the cast.
How far away are we here? 150
Uh,
feet. Fuck it, yeah! Let's do this! Oh! What just happened? No!
So you casted that. What's that?
Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Well, you casted it yourself too.
Oh, that's why. I'm like, why did I just roll a wisdom save?
Yeah, you casted it on yourself as well because you did yourself. But we'll ignore that one. But the rainbow of swirling colors appears above the two werewolves that are in front of both Sarah and Arteme. They 9, which fails. The other one got a natural 1. Werewolf 14 is not affected. Werewolf 3 is. You want to put the effect on Werewolf 3 for? One of
Hold
the
on,
two.
I gotta still on the.
You got it now. You have 3 targeted now. You have it
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
I am not targeted.
Yeah, you have it. It's correct right now. So you just apply the effect now. You're good.
All right.
So Sarah and Arteme, as you kind of begin to kind of stand yourself up after falling off the broom,
Don't it? The one that's incapacitated, we've got a minute to deal with, so let's murder the other guy first.
But one of the two, the one that had actually knocked you off the broom, is still snarling and like trying to search for you, like digging through the slashing into dirt and everything, trying to find you on the ground. And the other just kind of stands up and looks up at the sky as it's not moving.
I'm also gonna move back a little bit.
Okay. Is the music too loud? Sounds a little bit loud on my side.
It's a little loud. Not bad. That's better.
That turns down just a tiny bit. All right. Then if your turn, then.
That's it.
All right. Then one of the direwolves in the far corner, hearing this commotion, turns and is going to dash. Shit. 50 feet. For simplicity's sake, he makes it. That. There. Artemis' turn. Oh, that was supposed to repeat and it didn't.
I'm going to...
Go ahead. I totally interrupted you in the talk, so I didn't mean to. You restarted.
I'm going to use Shillelagh.
Okay. So you pull your staff up from your back, and as you're doing so, the vines and the thorns begin to grow out of it.
Yeah. And then I'm just
I know we're not invisible anymore.
I'll smash it.
You're gonna have to move a little bit first. You're too far away. But he is the one that. Did you intend to hit him? That's the one that was in trance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
no.
No.
Hit the other one then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it does hit. It's a 19. So. Hey, good roll too. Max damage. You smack him across the snout with this just as you're turning visible. You basically, as you're turning invisible, pull your staff out with the vines and the thorns growing off of it and just smash him across the snout. He snarls and growls at you as you kind of step to the side a little bit. Sort of half on there or something. There. You're on a half square. I'll just move you to this side. That work?
Yeah.
Because you were kind of stepping over Sarah as she's still
yeah. Well, she's tiny, so she'd fit in his space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can move through the same square anyways.
So Werewolf 3 is incapacitated, or at least the light-skinned, the not black wolf is incapacitated.
Can you say this in a non-PC way?
Not racist. All wolf lives matter, and so on.
You see hear another direwolf bounding in your direction. It is Sai's turn. Are you throwing her on the ground?
Yeah, she's gonna go behind and try and distract a bit.
Okay.
I put the effect on myself now, right? The side distract.
You put the effect. Hang on, let me look at it again. I know we've changed it so many. Well, we changed
Yeah,
it
you changed it a couple times, so now I'm confused.
Grant advantage on attack. No, you put that on the target. That's how it's supposed to work.
On
We
the
just have
target,
to pay
okay.
attention to we just have to pay attention to when it fades off, because it'll fade off from your turn instead of from side's turn. So
Oh,
so if you put it on the target, in which case it'd be werewolf 14. Oh, this is channel.
I can't drag it. Oh,
You want me to do it for you? I can drag it.
no, I was trying to. I had a token that says just Psy on my. Oh, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I got
You
it.
have
Yeah,
to hit the
'cause-
magnetic glass
yeah,
first. Yeah, you got it. It's there now, so you
yeah.
had it targeted, so that looks like it is. Okay. Then she is haranguing at the ankles of the werewolf, trying to distract him, trying to keep him from being able to hit you. He is going to swing one at you and one at Sarah. Sarah is still on the ground.
I'm also still invisible.
You are.
Nope. Oh, you are, because you took a
Yeah, she took
potion.
a potion. Why do you have advantage on slashing at Artemis?
Because you gave him the advantage from the side distraction.
Oh. I did. Yeah, that is wrong. I messed that up. He shouldn't have advantage. The advantage would be against him. So instead, sorry, Fox. I knew what I had it off. It's actually, you would put that on whoever's making the attack. That's what it is.
Okay, there we go.
So if Sarah was making an attack against him, that's how it would be. It's not disadvantage for him making attacks. Attacks against him because she's helping. So anyways, the attack roll in that case only be here. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you so you guys see what I'm talking about. He actually had, he would have had a flat roll, not an advantage roll, which means that if you look in there, he dropped a 1. You guys see that?
Yeah.
So he would have had a 1 if he didn't have advantage. So in that case, he claws in the air above Ed Artem, blocked him across the nose, and misses. He's going to take his second claw attack in the general area where Sarah is, rather, with disadvantage because he can't see. Grab the thing. There we go. Which does hit. So even though you're invisible, you got maxed.
Shield.
You know
Okay.
what? If these were normal people, we would have been fine. Stupid wolves and their stupid noses.
You guys hear Pogo's gurgly sound over the Rocky Talkie. Then, if you're going to use,
I
shield,
actually thought you were going to switch our tokens too.
I probably should have. Actually, I didn't think about that. That would have been fun. Your AC is normally a 13 plus 5 from the attack is an 18. He rolled 12 plus 6, 18. Meaning
Just
that
did it.
the attack goes to the runner. Yeah, he still hits just because the tie goes to the attacker. So even though you throw up your shield, then his claw just swings right through it. Had he known it was there, but
Invisible.
so when you get hit, you cast a shield. Yeah. So that is gone. Oops, I rolled the wrong thing. But it was not a crit at least. So it did 14, and of course this raking claw that goes across your shoulder over your chest just rips through the skin, and you are now bleeding as well, bleeding laceration. The same way from the previous fight you can attack with them.
Wait, it lasts for how
Right,
long?
it lasts until you take a heal, until you get for even 1 point.
Okay.
If you get any healing at all, it stops the bleeding. That's it for his turn, though. It is Werewolf 3. Does he get to make a new save at the end of every turn?
Nope. This is just he's. Oh wait. Each creature in the area who sees that missed a wisdom saving throw. Nope. Spell ends for an affected creature if it takes damage or someone else shakes them out of their stupor, but he is just in it for 6 rounds, 1 minute.
Or until your concentration.
10 rounds, or until my
10
concentration
rounds
breaks. Yeah.
until your concentration. Yep. Right. It is Mark's turn. You see both Sarah and Arteme have become visible, and Sarah is like there's a splash of blood as it kind of splashes on the ground in front of them, between them, as she got clawed pretty nastily by the werewolf there.
I'm fine.
Took 14 damage. That's a good hit, and you're going to be bleeding now too.
I guess I didn't hear that.
You took 29 damage total, right? 29
From
wounds.
falling. Yep.
Yeah, from the falling and everything. Out of 29 out of 56. So you're not quite fine.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
This is fine. All right, what are you doing, G? Muted.
Yeah, he's muted. I don't think he realizes it.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Sai is still distracting 14, right? Because he hasn't been.
So it's Norok, since you're going to hit the werewolf. Fox, if you would drop the advantage effect on Norok. There you go.
Okay.
You raging?
Of course.
I like that you don't even say it anymore.
He did. He said it while he was muted.
Oh, got it.
There's a silent rage.
And then you heard.
I mean, don't
heard
we
them
all?
silently rage.
Did I hit?
Yeah, you swing it across his, like it goes like almost cleaving off at the scalp of the back of its fur that flings off, kind of landing on Sai, if anything, covering her in blood. But it definitely hit. Which one is that? 14. He's bloodied with that, like one hit, basically bloodied now. He got hit by something else already. He had some damage to him. What was he hit by first? Oh, Artemis smacked him.
Oh, no,
So
that's
Artemis
right.
hit him with her staff. Yeah. So he is now bloodied.
Let's see if I can do it again.
Forgot to mark off my spell slot.
Yeah.
That one misses.
Okay. And I already raged, so that is all for me.
All right, it is theirs. You, as you were trying to stand yourself up, got slashed pretty aggressively. Some terrible bleeding wounds. What are you doing?
Right, so first I'm gonna cast.
Oh, you took 8 more damage, by the way. You took 8 more damage as soon as you were trying to stand up from bleeding.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast my mage armor as my action.
Okay. Regular one, or you're
Yep, just the regular one.
still afraid of the other one?
But she hasn't really. It's only been like what, maybe a day.
So you guys teleported here Thursday morning. It is Friday night.
Yeah, about a day.
Yeah, and then I still have inspiration, so
Yeah, you all do.
I'm going to use that to rejuvenate.
Okay.
And use one of my hit die. No, 2 of my hit die. I
think
think it's
it's
2
two.
hit dice as bonus.
Yep, up to 2. Yeah, as a bonus action.
So I'm gonna use 2 of my hit dice for my
Okay.
bonus action.
Aw.
Freaking kidding! Really?
Oh, I enjoy that so much. I
Womp
don't know,
womp.
it's good to pick out of it.
The bleeding stopped, right?
Yep, it did stop bleeding.
Okay. And then staying within his range because I have the nimbleness, right? I can move through creatures larger than me.
Yeah,
Alright, so 5.
it's the same as hazardous terrain. I mean, it takes double movement for those spaces, but yeah, you can move through them.
Alright, so okay, alright, so that'll put me. I'm just gonna go over here. On the side.
Okay. You're gonna summon the broom back down to you.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's it. That's my turn.
All right, and it is this werewolf's turn, which he is going to. Let's see, that's only 30 and 40 minutes. So he's going to similarly dash to try to get to you guys. Hearing that there are invaders in the camp, he sits there. That is it for his turn. Coming back around to the beginning of the turn, you hear just various roars and kind of sounds of awakening coming from around you. As more, where like others that had been asleep over here, for example, they wake up and have come around, and they're started. They'll basically be coming your direction this turn. As more are making their way toward you. You got it right. It's good now.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff underneath mine. I didn't see where it said mage armor.
Oh, as far as the individual effects, yeah. If you click the axe head, you guys have that, right? Yeah, the axe head that's on the far right of your combat tracker.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah, anytime you click that, you'll be able to see all of the individual effects that are on anything, where they're lined out rather than one paragraph. A little easier to see them that way. There you go. So you have at least 3, maybe 4 more werewolves headed your way, and you don't even know how many. It is this one's turn. Similarly, surprised when it's coming this direction. You can't go that way, so you can only make it to about there. In your direction there. It is probably going to start. We'll go through this round real quick, guys, and then we'll probably call it there.
Okay.
That works for everybody.
Yep.
Pogo is going to. Actually, let's see what. I'm just going to go ahead and cast Vicious Mockery on Werewolf 14.
Okay.
So I'm going to see if that. So I'm going to say, your mother's so hairy. When you were born, you had rug rash.
He failed. They got a 2.
Take that. And that!
He appears to be distracted and growls in Pogo's direction from behind you, who is now visible as you look over your shoulder and see him there. I guess he was anyways from the hypnotic pattern, but what's that?
I question, is this... I just now realized this isn't like a wall, is it? This is just like a sheet covering...
That's not even a vertical.
Like a cover.
That's a tent. Yeah, that's like a canopy. And there were 2 werewolves underneath it that are coming out right now. They're coming like...
Fuck!
You saw them asleep already. Remember, I told you that they were asleep under there before?
Yep.
So they are, like, going that direction.
I'm gonna move... How tall up is this little platform that I'm on?
There's... Right here are some stairs you can run up.
10 feet up?
Yeah.
Right,
No, the stairs are probably only 6 feet or so.
Right,
But, that platform is up a little bit at least.
I'm gonna go ahead and hang out at the top of the stairs right here.
Alright.
And I don't think I have a bonus action that I can really do without... Actually, yeah. Just how hurt is Arteme?
Arteme has taken 12 hit points of damage. Sarah has taken 32 hit points of damage. Well, has 32 still after getting herself away.
I will use my bonus action to cast Healing Word at level 1 on Arteme. Hold on, wait. I forgot all about what I made now that I can talk again. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and say "Ouchie boo boo" to you from across the battlefield.
Okay.
Cast Healing Word.
On Arteme?
That's my bonus action.
For Arteme?
Arteme was the hurt one, right?
What's that?
Arteme was the hurt one, right?
She had both of them were hurt, but Sarah was a lot more hurt. Sarah was,
I think I meant to cast on Seraphina, but that's okay. That's fine.
They were both injured, so I mean, neither one of them would have been topped off. And Sarah's usually knocked out anyway. So. All right, this one he can't get past the other because they can't move through each other, so he is going to run up behind this other direwolf and just was barking and growling, trying to push his way past. It is Arteme's turn.
I'm just gonna hit the one in front of me again.
The Shillelagh?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't have him targeted with the safety. Let me check. Misses slightly. His AC is 15. Any bonus actions?
I'll use Healing Word on Sarah.
Okay. While you're doing that,
not
the
good.
Direwolf
Great.
he's going to punch around, kind of overside, and try to snap jaws around Norok's leg for a 19, which hits. G, make a strength save. You have to beat a 30. You obviously have advantage on the strength save. So.
Try to get them clustered together.
He latches onto your leg, and you kind of kick him away. Not enough to injure him, but enough to get his jaws off of you. He does not pull you down. Sai continuing, try to distract Werewolf 14.
Yeah.
All right. It is now his turn. He is going to
At least
turn
he's
to the
got
side a little bit.
disadvantage.
From what? Oh, yeah. He just
vicious
from the
mockery.
vicious one. Yep.
Because of his hairy mother.
He's going to try to swipe at Norok. And he got a natural 1. He tries to swing at Norok, but the kind of raked off, like he's scalped, really, like most of his back has been carved off of it, is just kind of hurting him too much, and his claw goes wide. He kind of collapses forward onto his face. That'll be it for his turn because he got a 1. Werewolf 3 is still distracted, as long as Pogo keeps the concentration on him. It is Norok's turn. The one in front of you is prone now, G. 14.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry, I was muted again. Alright. Oh, sorry. I rolled the damage. Sorry.
Yeah,
Hang on.
I'll take the damage back off too. So,
There we go.
well, that hits. You, we'll just have to use the damage. Well, you didn't have your GWM on there though.
Or you
GWM
can
was
stat 10 if you want.
Yeah, just be another 10. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
He is laying on the ground, like face first, because he missed when he fell forward. And you bring your axe down, almost severing the neck, just cleaving through the shoulder, almost taking the head off, just to the side of the neck. And he's kind of still just bleeding out there on the ground as he's very failing at, but trying to lift his head back up, trying to reach a plow to swing you. Any bonus actions?
I'm just gonna hit him with my other one.
Okay.
But he's
Wait.
That's 7 hit points left.
yeah, okay, I was gonna say he looks like he's pretty
He's got more hit points.
regular hit.
He's got 7 left, yeah.
Okay.
That hits.
Bye bye.
Hope that was the big one.
That was the big one. Dead now.
Oh. Well, the good news is there's only 5 more, plus 8 other things.
There's probably more than 5.
Yeah.
Anything coming out of the big tent yet? It is Sarah's turn.
Right, so I have my broom back now, right?
Yeah, it came down to you at the end of last turn.
Okay, so I'm going to go up 20 feet.
Okay.
No, 15 feet. How tall are these dire wolves?
The dire wolves or the werewolves?
The dire wolves.
Dire wolves' face is at like 5.5, 6 feet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go up like 16, 17 feet.
Okay.
Per se. And then
Just below the line where you would start getting nervous again.
just below.
You've fallen off the room twice just this session alone. You need to get the way that surfboarders have that thing that that goes around their ankle to attach to the surfboard. You need that for your broom.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be over here.
Okay.
And shoot, how do I make a cone again?
How do you do what?
Cone.
Alt, I think. Yeah. Hold down Alt and then left and right click together. And drag.
Oh, that was not where I wanted it right there.
Just double click together, or left and right click together to move. There you go. And then you
Be
can
careful
resize.
on the room, dearie. On the broom up there.
Yeah, I can is that 15? Yeah, that's 15. Shit, I can only hit one. Yeah, we'll just
If you
go
move
there.
further, you could probably get both, but it is going to put you within range of the other. Well, not within range right now, but like close up.
I'm just going to stay here, and
Okay.
I'm going to use...
Hopefully those
Brown.
barrels aren't too high. I'm gonna run up the barrels and jump down on you.
Well, I didn't move my full movement, I don't think.
Oh, you're planning on moving somewhere after you do your dragon?
Yeah, I've got like 5 feet left, so...
Alright.
And let's do... What do I have? Lightning, fire, cold, acid. We're going to do some acid damage.
Let's do some acid damage.
My surgeon.
That'll only hit this one.
He saved. He got a 19 plus 2.
I think that's half damage still.
I think so. Well, look at the spell. I'm pretty sure it's half damage on the save.
Save or half as much on a success.
As long as you had him targeted, so it'll automatically do half. So it did 7 damage to him. So you move your way up above these, all the while grabbing the leaf that you need for it to chew on it, and then spit out this spew of acid that just is enough to barely cover this one that's closest to you. He does howl and bark up in your direction, and is kind of trying to prepare, like he's leaning down his haunches, like he's going to jump up, trying to reach you. Whether he's successful or not, you don't know, but that is prepared to attempt to do. This one, thanks to Justin's great idea, is going to leap along these barrels here and through the air as best he can. Now it's going to take
athletics check.
Yeah, he can't really get that far, so he's going to be more falling toward you than he is like a jump. He's going to athletics check first, but basically his attempt to attack you, to actually hit you, will be a disadvantage. He didn't roll well enough, so he's jumping through the air to try to claw at you, whereas normally he's only going to get 1 with disadvantage.
You're a great distraction, Serafina! We all appreciate you!
See if we can knock her off the broom 3 times. Nope, miss. And an 11.
You have a squeaky toy! Does anyone have a squeaky toy?
So he is on the ground beneath. And that was the last one. So that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Alright.
Alright, we'll see.
We're all gonna fucking die!